Hello there, everybody, and welcome to the Aegis Defender League 2026 Winter Split Playoffs. 4 teams from each group have brought themselves to the bracket stage, and each of them are now 4 best-of-5 wins away from a title. We present to you on this magnificent Monday night an XSV Civil War. The 4th seed from the Ascension Conference, XSV Pylons, will face off against the 5th seed from the Vestayan Conference, XSV Orion, for a spot in the quarterfinals. Live tonight from the Aegis Esports production channel, you've got crewmen here alongside the stupendous Storm to call the round of 16. It's our first Aegis postseason. Storm, you ready to go tonight?
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. Best of 5 Fearless is always a really fun time because it means you get to see some of these really weird picks that people really excel at and kind of keep in the back pocket because they may not be the most meta, but it's something that you definitely enjoy. I'm hoping we see something really weird. Teemo jungle, praying and hoping, something like that. The top laners actually fist fighting and picking something really weird instead of us just getting trades of tanks and Mbessa. I'm praying and hoping that we get to see something cool coming out tonight in this Civil War.
Yeah, I definitely am down for something cool. I'm not entirely sure if Teemo Jungle qualifies as cool, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Any players or champions in particular that you really want to see tonight, Storm, besides Kog'Maw, of course?
Yeah, it's always the Kog'Maw angle. I swear to God, just pick him. He's good. G2 showed he's good. Believe me, he's good. But as far as that, I'm curious to see if Mel is going to get through, if she's going to be left on the ban table. Her pick rate and ban rate and solo queue are skyrocketing, and we see her played in every Fearless match, and she looks really good basically in every match. She's a counter to Ari, who's a really noticeable blind pick, I think. So I'm curious to see if that champion goes through. I'm kind of hoping she's just permabanned for the series because I dislike seeing her. But other than that, nothing all that big that is coming out for me. What about you, crewman? Are there any huge champions, any jungle-focused things specifically, I think, from your end?
Oh, jungle-focused things? I mean, it's kind of just the usual suspects in the jungle as far as I'm concerned. I mean, the Bruisers, the Wukongs, the Vais, the Xin Zhao's very strong. The Mundo, obviously, as well. It's pretty high priority still. Not really expecting to see anything too crazy in the jungle, but, certainly there are options. If our junglers do want to go a little bit outside the box, go something slightly off meta, certainly could work out. But, I am glad that you mentioned the Mel, because the mid laner for XSV Pylons actually had a really great game against the Mel in that week 6 qualification match against Andromeda Voidwalkers, as Sluter pulled out the Akali against the Mel and did very, very well in that game. Was 12-2-3 on the Akali with 37,000 damage in a 32-minute game. So if the Mel does get left open, for the side of Orion, I think that the Pylons do have a little bit of an answer there. So potentially some maneuvering might happen in the draft in regards to that Mel pick. And just in general, I think mid lane is probably going to be one of the main matchups to look out for tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly such a huge point in the map, right? It's just that ability to rotate and affect your other lanes as well, and the ability to get solo kills. You see a lot more generally exciting picks coming out from the mid lane, just with the assassins and things being able to get locked in. I think we'd seen mid cool play before, correct? I believe we'd casted them.
Yes. I believe that we did get in a cast of XSV Orion earlier this season. I don't remember exactly when that happened, but I'm fairly certain you're right, Storm. We did see mid cool a few weeks ago. So it'll be cool to see this team again and kind of see, where they're at now. Maybe perhaps one of us will have the opportunity to go back in a little bit here and check exactly what we did witness before. I kind of forgot to investigate when we saw them on stream last. But, it should be a very close matchup that we have here tonight between these two teams, these two XSV squads. Yeah, shout out to Shane, who's probably in the chat right now. A little bit unfortunate that both your teams ended up going against each other in the round of 16 here. That is kind of tragic. But, hey, at least one of them is going to be getting into the quarterfinals. Silver lining.
Yeah. Guaranteed top 8 for your org. There you go.
we'll see how it goes. Taking a look at XSV Pylon starting roster first here. We've got Shane 23 in the top lane. Is that Shane himself? It might be.
It is Shane himself. Yes.
Yeah, the one and only Shane in the top lane for the Pylons. I guess we know which XSV team he would rather win tonight.
Yeah.
In the jungle, we've got Split Breed, mid lane Sluter, who I've already called out once already here. And then in the bot lane, we've got Kami starting AD carry and support Beyond Godly for the Pylons.
Yeah, and their opponents tonight, their sister team, XSV Orion. We have Jolts in the top lane. Idaconic? Yeah. Sure, we'll workshop that one. Mid Cool in mid, as we had called out. Hartna at ADC and Chief down at support.
Yeah, that's right. I feel like maybe there was a substitute jungler in for Orion last time we saw them.
That's right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it.
Okay, Jabber is going to be jungling tonight for the Pylons instead of Split Breed, and Jabber was actually playing for them in that Week 6 match that I referenced as well, and performed extremely well for the Pylons. So, normally we talk a lot, Storm, about how, they've got the substitute in, so maybe, the synergy is going to suffer a little bit, but Jabber has gotten plenty of playtime here, and we've already seen him perform very well on this roster. So I don't think the Pylons should be really all that concerned about it, as we are, as you can see, folks, get into this game 1 draft. Rel going to be the first champion taken away.
Yeah, that's a bit of an interesting one. Not something you see too much of, especially blind, right?
Yeah, I mean, Chief, it's not like he's a Rel one trick or anything. He's got quite a lot of games on Thresh, Bard, Leona, Poppy, all these champions still in the pool for Chief.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I'm sure there's some kind of plan here for the Pylons.
Yeah, they're getting rid of some really strong laners here. They're taking out the Caitlyn as well, whereas Orion's just kind of more spreading their bans out, taking care of that Mundo, who's just kind of that S-tier tank, really, jungler that you're able to get if you want like that more juggernaut. I guess he isn't a tank. There's no CC in the Mundo kit other than the slow. The Mel that I was highlighting is going to get banned, thank God. Keep that one there, Pylons. Maybe swap it over if you're on the other side and force Orion to ban it. Interesting. I wonder what they're going to be going for their first picks. They're kind of setting up to me what looks like towards some sort of hyper carry, but instead Ari. Okay.
Yeah, with the Mel banned away, then what is the counter going to be for Orion? That is kind of the premier one, as you already called out earlier. So seems like a pretty solid strategy for the Pylons to open up. Will Orion go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to say, I really like Orianna and Ari. I really like that matchup generally. That your breakpoints on like clearing waves are pretty similar, and your team fighting power is still quite good. But again, you're very susceptible to charm and kind of that Xin Zhao Ari combo, though, so can be a little risky. Instead, we're going to get this Ashe Seraphine, the lane that is rising up in priority. And here's the pitch: Kog'Maw Braum.
Pog Braum.
Yeah, you get Braum to block the Seraphine ult. You get Kog'Maw to be able to trade really aggressively with Ashe if you're able to get into range, and you can proc the Winter's Bite.
The Winter's Braum.
Yeah, whatever. It's his job and it's his ability. Yeah.
I think I might need a little bit more convincing, to be honest with you, Storm, and it looks like the Pylons do as well. They're going to go with Corki and Leona instead. Definitely a bold choice to go with the engaged support here. Definitely the Leona I could see struggling a bit in this lane, but certainly if they are able to find that all-in angle, then the Corki and Leona can pack quite a punch.
Yeah, I was about to say the Pylons definitely are really setting up for a really strong like skirmishing comp. They have Leona, they have Ari. The Wukong is going to get taken away from Orion, who is very, very good with enchanters, right? Seraphine gives you some of those engage opportunities with Warrior Trickster to get those extended encores when you don't expect them necessarily to extend because you pass through the invisible people. That's a really strong pick in kind of this classic pairing for Orion. I'm kind of thinking that for the Pylons, they're like looking towards like Xin Zhao, something like that, right? The kind of standard bruiser by Ari, right? That's going to get taken away here from Orion. Wouldn't be surprised if Xin Zhao also follows up for them, but maybe they have something else in mind.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like the Xin Zhao ban would probably make a good amount of sense here. That would pinch the jungle pool pretty significantly with that Mundo already being taken away earlier on. So, yeah, I would be really interested to see at that point what Jabber does decide to go for.
They banned Scion. I thought for sure they were going to ban mids a way that they didn't want to play against with this Ahri.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, Storm, because Midcool did actually play Scion in the mid lane in Week 6 against Team Apex White, was 5-2-13 on the Scion. So it's a flex pick for Orion.
Okay.
Your initial instinct was correct. They are banning mid laners. You're absolutely right.
All right. As someone who has played a lot of Scion mid, Scion sucks into Ahri. You press your Q to try and clear the wave and you get charmed out of it. She clears the wave exceptionally well with Orb of Deception. Like her breakpoint is very similar to yours, where you one-shot backline minions. So I don't know about that one, but maybe they know something I don't and they just don't want to deal with it, which is totally fair, right? You have that ability in a best of 5 to kind of take it at a certain point if you want it in your comp more. Right, Sound generally pretty good tank. Most top laners play him. They're going to ban the Galio as well, kind of fearing kind of this front line of the beef and the disengage.
Yeah, and best taken away on the side of Orion. They're going to go for the Rise on R4 to go into that Ahri.
Yeah. Okay, so Xin Zhao still open. Other bruiser junglers, we can get a Viego game maybe as a possibility here. We do have some upfront burst with Ahri and Corki and stuff, but no, Xin Zhao, that makes more sense.
He's too meta.
Yeah.
So now the blind top lane angle for the Pylons for the org owner, Shane. What is he going to be showing us? Renekton? You're calling the Renekton?
Yeah, that's my thought.
Well,
wow.
Well done, Storm. Well done.
It's the Shane champion.
It's also a standard blind as well.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he has like the most amount of solo queue games. It's like he basically plays this and Alawi in solo queue, and that's about it. So
yeah, 52 games on the Renekton this season, the 54% win rate, by far his most played. So absolutely right, Storm. And there is a little bit of spice for us at the end of the draft. Alawi R5 in the top lane.
Wow, I have not seen this champion in a long time. Ever since they made those like E changes where it's like you're not guaranteed and it doesn't do as much damage, I feel like her popularity fell off a cliff. This is my one like champion that if the enemy team plays it, I will request a ban for it every single time. I hate playing against Alawi with a burning passion, especially as like normally a tank player. Like I despise everything about this. So I'm sorry, Orion. I will try to get over my bias towards that. It is a cool counter pick. I like to see it. Not sure about it into the Renekton. Alawi's normally really strong into champions without dashes, because so much of her kit's power is again tied into that E, the test of strength, where you get the little vessel pull and stuff. So wondering how this lane matchup's gonna go. It is kind of always that thing of, in my mind, I don't know how many Renektons, especially towards like pro and this like advanced play of like just going all in on early game, like playing PTA Renekton with Ignite is one of the reasons why he is such a good blind pick, is you just have that ability to just go, no, I'm going to play for lane and I'm going to shut you down. So if someone is picking one of these like more lane dominant champions that really needs to get a lead, because Alawi is useless in team fights. She is never ever coming to this 5v5, right? Basically, you have to get your tentacles set up. Like you have to sit around an objective like 15 to 20 seconds ahead of time before it's like a good fight for Alawi. So I'm expecting Orion is going to be playing completely like for the split in a lot of ways, which is weird, right? They really open their comp up with this Rise Alawi.
Yeah. I mean, they do have some pretty good tools to play towards the side lane, right? Specifically that Rise, I think we're looking at with the rotational power of the Realm Warp, but also the Ashe being able to try to set up plays with a cross-map ultimate can be really, really impactful. Something we've seen quite a bit in pro play recently, actually. You know, obviously with the power of the Ashe Seraphine, it's just been a high priority pick just in general. So we'll see. I mean, obviously that is a little bit of a more difficult style to execute, generally speaking, trying to play on side lanes as opposed to just grouping for objectives, which feels like it's definitely going to be more in the Pylons wheelhouse in this game with these compositions. So it'll be really interesting to see. I do feel like my assertion earlier that the mid lane is going to be a very impactful matchup to watch is reflected in these drafts as well. You know, kind of feel like between the Ahri and the Ryan, so whoever ends up getting the priority in that mid lane earlier on and is able to find those earlier roams could end up, really swinging the game in their team's favor.
Yeah, I'm much more towards the Pylons draft as well, because Rise also wants to be the side lane guy, right? He wants to generally be playing in side lane waves and trying to pick up as much CS and stuff on the map as possible, right? Kind of like the joke in the Rise community is if you don't have 10 CS and mid on this champion, you're just doing something wrong. Like, you just start clearing waves and you just start hoovering up all the camps. It's like, playing Yorick or something. So I'm really interested to see what the lane assignments are really going to look like. Is it just going to be 1-3-1 with like Ashe, Seraphine, and Wukong just kind of hovering around mid lanes together? Like, I feel like the Pylons have so much snap potential to get onto Ashe, Seraphine, who really don't have that much disengage, right? Their real strength is like the more engaged side of it. Like, you had the Ashe volley slows, but with Leona and Xin Zhao and stuff, you have some great ability to just start a team fight out incredibly quickly for the Pylon's sake. So I think with their more kind of standard skirmishing style 5v5 team comp, I'm leaning towards the Pylons despite the really cool spicy picks that Orion have pulled out.
It does feel like the Pylons have got themselves with a more standard setup. We'll see if the power of the Ashe Seraphine bot lane and the R5 Alawi counterpick are going to be enough for Orion to take the win in this first game. Don't go anywhere, guys. The Aegis Defender League playoffs start in just a bit. Hello, everybody. Welcome onto the Rift. We are already into the action here for our first game. XSV Pylons on the blue side, XSV Orion on the red side. Looks like both of our junglers starting on the top side. Storm, anything else you think should be drawing our attention to before we get into the action?
So it is Conquer Renekton. We're not bringing the actual heat and trying to go for the 1v1. This is a Lowy with grass, which is pretty standard for her. Maybe some tanks you go kind of that more Conqueror style, but just taking that W start. I think it's Ignite RE mid, maybe a little interesting. Into the Rise, generally don't see that as much. Should make it maybe a little more difficult for Sluter to kind of match some of these side lane plays, but here's somebody going in. Godly getting a good trade here on the Chief.
Chief is chunked down to about half. Looking for the beat drop. Can find a little bit of a slow there onto Kami.
Yeah,
Wave is crashing in towards the Corki and Leona.
I'm kind of surprised that Cart didn't retaliate onto Beyond Godly there. I feel like he should have. Oh, Shane is
scrapping top lane as well. Jolt's going to be able to go in for another W. The flash away for the Renekton. There's the flash follow for Jolts, and he is going to pick up the first blood. There's that R5 counter pick in action.
Yeah, maybe we don't dash into a Lowy. That's generally, she is a juggernaut. You don't want to fight her. She doesn't have any CC or any mobility. She just has all the damage, right? That's all the kit brings and things like that. So not a great look. See if Xinzao is able to really get anything down bot here. I think he might have gotten hit by the very edge of that hawk shot there. Not sure though.
He is going to be first into the river. See if Jabber's going to be able to lock away this crab. At the very least, he looks like he's going to be starting it up. But the Wukong also in the area. Godly going to go in with the Zenith Blade, and the wind does become lightning, but Chief kites back away.
Mid-cool's here too.
The Nimbus strike. Yeah, it's going to be mid-cool on the rotation from the mid lane, and the Xinzao in trouble. Jabber tries to flash away, but is going to get taken down by the Rise. Now the slows from the Ashe are going to force the flash out from Godly as well. And already we're seeing XSV Orion up 2-0.
Yeah, and it's kind of a disaster because it's on both sides of the map, right? Plays losing in top and down bot lane for them. Oh, that's pretty bad. Jabber is hopefully going to be able to reset here and go to this top. But we do see from this replay here, right? It's just Godly going in when he has no vision of where Itonic is.
Yeah, they definitely should have, I think, been a little bit more respectful there, maybe. Maybe the Pylons just thinking that they win the 3v3, but the Ashe and the Seraphine really powerful this early on in the game. And really nice punish coming out there from Orion to get themselves already 1,000 gold lead overall.
Yeah, Midcool also getting double buffs from this play as well, which mean even though he drops some waves there, he should have some extra power in his kit and things like that, so he should be able to play. Do see though that there is Jabber on this counter jungle right now. Wonder if he's going to be able to get anything down towards Midcool here.
Yeah, the Rise does still have the flash. We'll see if he has to burn it here. In goes Jabber, looking for the knockup, needs one more auto and can't quite find it. Midcool able to kite back underneath the tower.
Yeah, I feel like Sluter was just holding his charm, waiting to get that third 3-talon strike for that knockup to get that confirmed there. So wasn't quite able to burn the flash or anything.
Here comes Chief on the reset into the mid lane, and is just going to get the flash out from Sluter with the movement speed from the W into the beat drop, and that's enough to get the flash out from the Ari. Now the flash in for Midcool. Didn't quite have the range to get the Rune Prison. Meanwhile, Godly going to find Cartana with the Zenith Blade, but the Ashe playing very respectfully right now without the Seraphine in the lane, just waiting for the support to join back up before resuming the aggression.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised they're also playing like this. I feel like they saw this Wukong on this ward as well,
Shane is going to face check the Allow here, who does have level 6, but very little mana for Jolts. Is going to be able to get in for another W and didn't need the ultimate. Just a couple of autos, enough to finish off that Renekton. In goes Godly again with the Zenith Blade. Jabber is here, but it's so much damage into Leona already. And that is going to be kill number 1 for Itonic. Kami trying to Valk away, but is going to have to flash the slows from the Ashe are there. The Weird Trickster to get back out from underneath the tower. And it's going to be the volley from Cartana. Oh my goodness, the Ashe picks up a double kill. XSV Orion 6-0 on the board. They are dominating already.
Yeah, this one is looking like it might it's so bad for them, right? It's their quirky Leona lane that's like something that really needs to be aggressive and be fairly ahead to be able to get anything going, right? Leona from behind is just absolutely worthless, and this cart is just kiting forward and just having no fear, right? It's just trying to run away from Ashe is like nearly impossible, and now Ashe is level 6 and Seraphine is getting close as well, and that just means they can force so hard onto Godly and Kami. This bot lane probably is going to need to get bailed out from Saluda or something like that, because Jabber is certainly not going to be able to be the ones to bail them out. He's already 0-2.
Yeah, looking pretty tough. I mean, Kartana already had the Berserker Greaves done for that last skirmish, so it's just able to kind of walk down the 3-man squad from the Pylons so easily. And Sluter has been kind of struggling in this mid lane as well. You know, you called out earlier the fact that Midcool got the double buffs off that earlier roam. You know, they already has been kind of pinned down there as well. Really nothing at all is going right for the Pylons so far. You know, we were talking about how their composition is going to be pretty strong in team fights, but right now it's looking like they might not even get to team fights.
Yeah, and I'm really also weirded out with what Jolts is building top lane as Alawi. This to me just seems strange. Like, are they rushing Fimbulwinter or something? I don't know what this tier is for.
I mean, Jolts was very low on mana earlier, as we saw.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's common for Alawi to have mana problems.
She generally does, but it's just one of those things that, like, you spec into the yellow tree.
On the bot lane. The Encore comes out, and it does connect post Valkyrie. It's going to be the root onto Godly as well. Leona taking so much punishment there. Feels like Kami and Godly just going to have to channel a couple. Oh, Sluter is on the rotation, but so is Midcool. Jabber here as well. The Rise threatening the Realm Warp into the thick of
Jabber's
things. Jabber
so
going deep, but in comes the Wukong with the cycle. They find the knockup onto Leona. Jabber slowed up as well. Crescent Guard already used, just going to get taken down by Kartana. A couple more kills, 8 on the board. Now there's a charm over the wall, though. And that was a little bit of an overstep from Itaconic. Going to get punished by Sluter. That is first kill of the game for the Pylons.
Yeah, that's big for him. I was kind of about to call out that at least Ari saved ult there, that Sluter was able to keep that cooldown so that he could maybe make a play later. Is able to make it on Itaconic, gets that shutdown, which stops that first dragon from going over, which is a pretty big win. But here is the thing about playing into Alawi. You're stuck under your tower, have fun getting tested spirited over and over again. But here's Jabber looking in mid lane, end of play happening. But there's
just going down really low, but it's just a death for Kami. The Corki just burning down there. And things just going bad to worse in this bot lane for the side of the Pylons. Meanwhile, on the top lane now, Shane is going to pop the dominance. Pretty far forward, is going to have to dice away. Oh, the ultimate not really getting much done for the Renekton.
Yeah, there's still the Alawi ult as well, which is one of those things, if you can buffer it through CC, you know, if Renekton does W stun you with that enhanced W, with that enhanced Call of the Meek, you are able to buffer through it and then slam down afterwards. So it is a really tough lane. I'm really curious to see what the hell Jolts is building, because I have no idea what this Alawi build is. I've always seen this champion go like Black Cleaver Rush into like other split push items like there's
that arrow actually hit. Kami tried to buffer the Valkyrie, but it did not quite work out. Now we're gonna get slowed up. The Solar Flare is not gonna get the stun. The Zenith Blade will land. Jabber is here. Kartana does not have flash, but a beautiful beat drop from Chief. Stops that Jin Zhao in his tracks. The Encore is not going to land, though. The wind does become lightning. The Zenith Blade coming through, and the shutdown is going to be there for Jabber. Itaconic is also here, going to help to take down that Leona. And now Jabber definitely a little bit low on HP. Is very strong, though, in the early game. And Jabber able to turn that around onto Itaconic, who almost had the Cyclone available, just came back off now after the Wukong went down. And a couple of kills for the Jin Zhao. Maybe the Pylons aren't out of this game just yet.
Yeah, I mean, that's some big shutdowns and some big setup. Thank God it didn't go onto Leona, didn't claim that shutdown with Ignite or something like that. I was really worried it was going to be a support 1k shutdown or something. Xin Zhao getting it, probably really good for him. Is able to finish off his Sundered Sky there, as you can see. So he is at least matching the one item spike of Itaconic's Wukong with this Trinity Force stun.
It is a really early Trinity Force, though. Getting that at 10 minutes feels very, very nice for the Wukong. Be very strong for the fights as well.
So we're just building Frozen Fist on Alawi. Okay, and we just bought a tier. That's what it is. That's somewhat normal, at least.
All right, in goes the Xin Zhao, looking forward on a mid cool, who is going to have to flash the charm. A good attempt there from mid jungle of the Pylons, able to get that flash out from the Rise.
Yeah, that's a big win for Sluter. This gives them the opportunity to maybe look for Void Grubs or something like that. But here's an Asher coming in mid. I think it landed onto Jabber.
Looks like the Xin Zhao is going to be all right. No follow-up incoming, as obviously the Rise was very low. Iconic had just used the W to get over the Raptor wall, so nobody able to follow up on that.
Yeah, but just look at this bot lane, man. Kraken Slayer done compared to just the Phage in inventory and some components. It's so rough down here for Kami and IBO and Codley.
Yeah, they're not having a good time, and you definitely do want to be doing some stuff in lane with the Corki Leona as well, but things went wrong very early, and we'll see if they're going to be able to stabilize at some point later on. Definitely both of the side lanes kind of a disaster right now still for the Pylons, but Jabber and Sluter, I feel like, are kind of the engine of this team. If they're going to be able to stabilize, then there's still a chance they can make something happen, but Iconic going in, finding Jabber with the Cyclone. The Xin Zhao is on the grubs, but flashing in as Jolts with the W. Going to be able to take the kill, number 3 for the Yalawi. And that is going to be the lead extending for Orion.
Yeah, this Iceborne Gauntlet's a really interesting thing. For me, it's like the Alawi, you build it into people that like can't get away from you, and it just allows you to use those leaps of faiths, that Alawi W where she kind of slams down at you over and over again and just kind of keep on top of you. And we just see this, just the relentless push from Alawi just over and over and over again. Shane coming in here looking for a trade, takes a tentacle slam on his way out, and that's probably a win for Jolts.
Yeah, going to find the Test of Spirit there as well. He's going to immediately go for the Leap of Faith just on the Spirit. That is going to chunk Shane out pretty heavily. The Renekton does have Teleport if he has an opportunity to channel a recall after all these tentacles are done attacking him. Looks like he will be able to get that one off.
Yeah, but this is kind of what we want to see, that you're really able to start mining these turret plates. We're down to just one left here. Shane does have his TP here and has finished his item there. That Black Cleaver is done now, so there is...
Right, immediately back onto Jolts, who doesn't have ultimate. Dominus popped for Shane, looking for the all-in onto the Alawi, but the Frostfire Gauntlet definitely doing some work here for Jolts, and find another W there with the Harsh Lesson, gets the Test of Spirit as well, and find a little bit of healing here, but Shane, he's gonna have another stun in just a moment. He flashes for it, he finds the stun, just a little bit more damage is all that's needed, and Shane 23 with the solo bolo able to take down Jolts.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a case of Jolts really overplaying it, right? That guy TP's back. He has TP as an actual summoner, so he gets that huge shield, which really made the difference there. Oh my god, Sluter almost died. Like flash before his eyes from that ult.
Yeah, good attempts from Kartana. Not quite able to find it, though. And yeah, it was the flash difference as well. Solar Flare in the bot lane, that's going to get the cleanse out from Kartana. Good attempt from Godly, good trade there. But here comes Iconic and Chief looking for potentially a punish. The slow is going to land from the volley. Iconic, is he going to commit the W to look for the all-in? It's going to be the flash away for Kami. It goes to Wukong, the knockup is there, and it's mid-cool with the kill. 13 now on the board for Orion. It's going to be number 2 for the Rise.
Yeah, and they're able to get both flashes, right? Godly and Kami both lost theirs in that play. Sluter isn't really getting all that much, just getting a little bit of turret plates here. We see that Jabber is going over to these grubs, hopefully getting this, but they've lost first tower now in the bot lane. And to me, it's all on what Sluter can do, because he's right now looking like one of the only hopes for this team.
Yeah, definitely. Was able to get that 1 kill earlier. Does have the Blackfire Torch done. Jabber briefly interrupted by Jolts, but the Alawi, the top laner for Orion, knows he's alone on this side of the map right now. So not going to fully commit to that contest on the objective. His team was securing the Double Dragon on the other side of the map. They are going to be feeling, I think, pretty happy about that trade. They're going to need to see a lot of value, I think, from Shelly here as well for the Pylons.
Yeah, and it's air wrap, you know, Cloud Drake coming up, which is just so broken, especially when you have these champions with these ultimates that are pretty reliant. You know, Ash ult being able to kite afterwards, Wukong getting faster with the Beyblades and stuff. It's a really, really good dragon to accelerate the game further and further for the Orion there.
Here comes Jabber, find the W, but Kartana and Chief saw him coming. They're going to be able to kite back. They find the root onto the Jinzhou as well. Jabber taking a big chunk there. Now the slows onto Godly, and Enchanted Crystal Arrow is there as well. Leona forced to go in. There's never really a play there. Jabber now forced to Crescent Guard and flash away, and goes Itaconic and get the Valkyrie out from Kami as the Pylons are just so far behind. They really just cannot fight at all. Kartana and Chief are so strong. They're going to be able to pressure this mid-outer turret. Looks like they're going to get the entire thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just Sluder has to come bail his team out and try something at some point, right? Because there's no hope anymore. This is just going to continue over and over again. And I'm really worried that this game's just kind of over already.
It does feel that way. And the gold lead is 5,000 right now for Orion. And yeah, everybody is just looking pretty strong on their side. We've got still some time before the third dragon spawns, but I don't think the side of the Pylons are really going to be able to get any meaningful item completions in that time. You know, I guess 2 items for Jabber on the Jinzhou, but don't know if that's enough.
Yeah, I don't think getting a Sterix Gauge is really going to be that big of a power spike or anything here. And it's just like, what are they going to do to stop Jolts from just pressing down on the sideline, right? Or are we just going to commit Shane with his TP down for this play? I guess that's what the plan is, but I just don't know if that's even going to be enough here. Maybe we can
Jabber's still fishing for something here in the mid lane.
Yeah, I feel like that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get the flash or something out, or heal maybe from Chief, because they do know Kart's flash is down. So they do have that option to try and get this Ashe. And there is this shutdown on Chief available as well, right? So, but just look at the amount of pressure they're able to get just simply by walking up, and the Pylons just have to show respect, right? They don't know where Itaconic is right now.
Yeah, definitely. Mid-cool also. Very, very close to a massive spike. The Rod of Ages is about to complete, and he's about to complete his Archangels as well. And Crystal Arrow onto the Leona, who is just immediately going to get basically one shot. Godly actually does survive. Never mind. Mid-cool able to get in there with the Spell Flux, takes down Leona. Jabber now enemy line. Teleport in for Shane. It's going to be the flash away from the Seraphine, but Jabber does get taken down now. The teleport in for Jolts as well. Going for the Leap of Faith. That is going to force the retreat for everybody on the side of Orion, and the Encore pulls Shane back in. Mid-cool now on a rampage. Able to complete that second item whenever he would like to. Plenty of time for the dragon spawn.
Yeah, and if we can get a replay on that, I need to call out Sluder here. You can see him on the bot. We miss our charm. We dash into the wall with our first Ariel. We dash into the wall with the second Ariel, we just then get over with the third one. But that means we did no damage, and it's just a disaster from the man who had the only way to get his team into it.
Yeah, definitely very sad. But you know, to be fair, the game was
yeah, I mean, that wasn't the play that broke the game open or anything like that, but it was certainly the, I think maybe the only chance the Pylons had to get a kill onto Kart for the rest of this game, I sort of feel.
I don't know if we caught that on the stream, but Sluder after that hit us with "my ult bugged" in all caps and in all chat. So I don't know if we want to give him the benefit of the doubt on that one, but
yeah, for sure. That was alleging. That was definitely a bug and not user error there, Sluder. I believe you.
Definitely. We got our next dragon coming up in 15 seconds now, and honestly, it feels terrible to just give over dragon number 3 for free, but I don't think the Pylons have any chance of winning a fight, so you probably do just have to give this.
Yeah, you can see them looking to maybe commit and get this turret bounty in top lane and get maybe that kill onto Shane or onto Jolts, get Shane some extra money. I kind of support this play. They do have the Rift Herald to break this tower open. I think Shelly Charge should get this.
If the charge, we're actually, we are going to get the charge into the tower. So they do find the cross map in the form of that tier 1. Nice cover from Chief, kind of identifying that the Pylons were not going to be contesting that objective. So it was able to cover the cross map.
What is Corky doing here?
Unclear. But I think he is going to be dying in just a moment.
Yeah,
that little pug trying to waddle away. Run, little doggy, run!
He is a corgi, not corgi. That's the skin. Come on, man. He's not a pug. It's not Pugmaw. It's not Pugmaw.
My bad.
How dare you?
You're so right. My mistake. I'm so sorry, everyone. It was a severe miscall on that one.
But here is the giant purple worm. Baron Nashor getting started. Iconic going to be able to take this one very easily. There's no way Jabber or anyone is going to even remotely get close to this. I guess they're going to try. They kind of have to, I guess. But
yeah. Jabber is going to get spotted out by Jolts. Love this from the top laner, just marking the jungler. Going for the test of Spirit Encore. Really nice there as well. On to 3. They do take down the Xin Zhao. Jolts flashes away. The Baron is going to be finished by Midcool and Iconic. And they're going to get out the Spirit Rush from Sluter as well. Can they end with this Baron buff, Storm? What do you reckon?
Yes, because Sluter doesn't have ult, so he is not a threat anymore to Cart, and Cart, I'm pretty sure, isn't afraid of anyone else in this game. He has a 4,000 gold lead as Ashe, and he has both Summoners and a Seraphine, and he has Wukong to go stand in front of him. I really do feel like Jolts doesn't need a sideline here. You can just send 5 mid and end this game right now.
Yeah, no, I think you're probably right. Yeah, 2 full items ahead there in the 80 carry position. Kartana just an absolute monster right now in this game. And we are going to play towards the side lane. I mean, we kind of discussed this in the draft. Didn't really end up being relevant. They're going to find Kami again here in the jungle, who's going to try to flash over to the blast cone. Does get over the wall, but so does Iconic. And so he's going to be able to finish off that Corgi. And now Chief going to be able to kite away from Jabber, who is rooted up by the beat drop. In comes the Rise with the Realm Warp. Iconic dashing forward with the Nimbus Strike. And the Crushing Blow is going to finish off the enemy jungler. Godly going to get taken down as well. Only 2 alive to try to defend. That's a really nice flash from Kartana. Gets away from the Charm. That's going to force the flash away for Sluter. And this could just be the end of the game right here. We got 10 seconds on the Corgi. And mid inhibitor will be taken down as the whole team grouped up now, looking towards these Nexus towers. There, the target chain popping the Dominus, trying to get on top of these damage dealers, but there's just too much CC. He is going to get destroyed. The Encore comes out, the Nexus turrets go down. The Charm does land onto the level 16 Alawi, who does not care at all. And Godly is going to fall before his Nexus. 23.5 minutes on the clock. And XSV Orion obliterate their sister team in game 1.
Yeah, that was a not close whatsoever. I think it would be fair to say Orion just absolutely dismantled them from what felt like minute 1, right? You know, we did get in at minute 1, but it was shortly after we saw the first blood happening in top lane. There was the bot lane 3v3 very soon after that. And at that point, it just kind of was like, oh, they're just going to get diffed. It was just all of the lanes lost, basically, right?
Yeah.
So you could argue that Sluter went even because they had pretty much the same amount of gold. He got like some turret plates, but those were some pretty impactful roams, I think it would be fair to say.
Yeah, I mean, that's something else that we were talking about in the draft, right? Between the and the Rise, who's gonna be able to be active on the map earlier. And Midcool went for that really early roam down towards the bot lane, had that really early impact, was able to go for the recall and got his tier at like 4 minutes, and just did a really good job of being useful in those sides. And Jolts as well with the R5 counter pick. I think we learned that Alawi does win against Renekton. Taking a look at the post game here.
That's pretty sad, just seeing those damage numbers just getting pointed out comparatively.
Sluter did do more damage than Midcool.
I was just about to bring it up. I was about to say 1-0 had a perfect KDA, did more damage than the mid laner. It's a mid diff, baby, and I'm the winner. So Sluter is that to pat himself on the back with.
Okay.
Maybe he's able to. Oh, sorry, player of the game. I guess we can talk about that. That does make sense. Cart, I think, did a very, very good job on Ashe. It's kind of hard to argue with the guy who's like got an 18 and 0 KDA. Although he did die and his support had a higher KDA. But I think Cart played incredibly well. I think he deserves a lot of it. He had some pretty good Ashe ults. His positioning was very good. Like I saw him going back in and getting those auto attacks afterwards and things like that. So I would be tempted to give it to Cart.
Works for me. I mean, there's a case for every single member of XSV Orion after that game. They all played extraordinarily well, and it was just an absolute demolition of the Pylons here on game number 1. So hopefully the Pylons will be able to battle back. You can kind of just, in a sense, brush this game off, I think, right? It's like, the early game was a disaster. We kind of lost in the first 5 minutes. Unlucky. Just try to mental reset and go again in game number 2. I think, is what we're hoping to see from the side of the Pylons. Anything else about that game 1? I don't think there's really too much else for us to touch on here.
No, I don't think so. I think that's just hopefully the lanes go better. We get some counter picks or something like that. I'm guessing they're going to swap over to red side, but we'll have to wait and see as we see what's going to be happening in game 2 draft when we get to it.
Be right back.
全マーケットは迅速な発送ですぐにお届けします。あ、ボクセット？
大丈夫？
でも直接来てくれたの？
これ
って
漫画みたいだったね。
しかも今衣装着てるし、花でもあれば完璧なのに。
完璧だよ。壊れ物だから自分で届けたかったんだ。
あなたって完璧。ありがとう、全マーケット。
All right, everybody, welcome back. We are now getting underway with our game 2 draft. The Pylons, as you suspected, Storm have decided to move on over to that red side. And we've got some pretty similar bans to what we saw before. That Akali is going to get taken away from Sluter, as well as the Mundo and the Silas bans are coming out once again for the side of Orion. And for the side of the Pylons, are going to take away that Rel as well as the Mel. And their last ban was the Caitlyn in game number 1. See if that is going to be the same as well.
Yeah, you'd think it would be Caitlyn now that they're on red side, that is kind of something that in some ways is almost respectable to kind of build the comp around, right? Try and get that really strong support pairing with it or something like that. Instead, they're going to go after the Oriana here. Okay, so here is Zahen coming in. The Ambessa is available as kind of on the counter pick and taking that flex as well, but Pylon's going to go for Caitlyn themselves.
Okay.
And Elise.
Whoa.
Okay.
All right.
So this is bot lane, right? This is support Elise. I think Elise has officially left the jungle, that she has been vacated, and she's now a support who throws stuns at you that costs very little mana and has incredibly high burst, and falls off a complete cliff after about minute, I want to say 19, starts becoming a stun bot.
Yeah, that sounds about right. The Caitlyn is one of the more commonly played champs for Kami. Does have 11 games on it this split with an 82% win rate. Very, very strong win rate there. So I guess that the game 1 Caitlyn ban was really just, wanting to make sure that they had it available for themselves here for game number 2, it seems. And it is going to be responded to with the Ezreal Karma. So we are going to be fighting fire with fire down there in the bot lane. That is very exciting. Both sides are really wanting to play with priority.
Yeah, I'm guessing the Pylons are going to take some sort of really aggressive jungler here who can dive turrets as well, right? Oh my god, it's Jungle Elise.
Holy crap. Could also be Jungle Nautilus. It is viable. They buffed his
I guess
monster damage ratios on the E. It is. I played it a decent amount recently. It is very viable. So probably the Nautilus support, Elise jungle is probably more likely, but just wanted to throw that out there.
I kind of hope it is in some ways, because Nautilus into Ezreal Karma sounds absolutely miserable. That sounds awful.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Nautilus, not like the most amazing champion at going for turret dives, but you can kind of set things up with the depth charge once you have level 6. You know, that can be, I think, somewhat effective. So we'll see. Yeah. We'll see what the strategy is going to be. But we're into the second ban phase now. It's going to be some jungle focus from the side of Orion, at least, for that Lee Sin taken away. The jungle Shen was tapped down on this patch a little bit, but I suppose he is relatively commonly a jungler these days as well.
Yeah, I definitely agree. If we're playing Caitlyn Elise, we do not want Shen ult to come down on the champion we are pressing all of our buttons on. So I think that ban makes a lot of sense. Cassante, Caitlyn struggles to kill tanks. Also makes sense. He's probably also the best blind pick in top lane, I would say, other than Renekton maybe. So. Why
is Orion banning Lee Sin, though, actually? Because surely either Elise or Nautilus is going jungle. Like, one of them has to be jungling. So the Lee Sin ban feels a little bit weird there to me. But the Garen does make, I think, a little bit more... Well, I mean, the Garen is mainly like a counterpick into Cassante, which was just banned away. So phase 2 bans, but perplexed.
I would just say Garen is basically good into every melee top lane. I think he has been way overbuffed, and you just... can't really deal with him. His base damages are just so high. He takes phase rush, so you can never trade into him. I'm excited for Riot to nerf this champion and for phase rush to be removed in the new season that has been quote unquote leaked. I'm hoping and praying that that is a real thing, because god, I hate that summoner spell. Or sorry, Keystone.
Rune. Yes, we knew what you meant. Yeah, the Ornn coming through on the R4, blind in the top lane for Shane. They want to give Sluder that counterpick opportunity, which I know hurts your top lane Heartstorm, but Sluder does feel like the main win condition for this team, so I don't mind it too much. We are going to see the Mordekaiser come out for Orion, which does feel like a pretty strong answer into the Ornn.
Yep. Generally one of those things that you win the lane, you can ult Ornn so that he can never activate R2. He just wins in the side lane. You can ult one of these really annoying targets also from the team. Elise, who is trapped in a death realm against Mordekaiser, is not doing anything. Okay. I think Galio here seems off. Seems not very good, but it does provide the save potential if Caitlyn and Elise are trying to insta-gib somebody, similar to that Shen shield. I don't really know who's going in that you're Galio ulting. I guess Zahen with his ult or something.
It's going to be Zahen pretty much every time, yeah, unless he's saving somebody like you were just mentioning, who's getting jumped on. The Galio is maybe a little bit surprising, but it is a decently safe blind pick, or even if you lose lane, you're going to have value later. And I also feel like Orion, we're going to be a little bit light on front line with the Mordekaiser. You know, we always talk about him being a real front line, right? Because he takes himself out of the fight so often. And the Zahen, not the tankiest. So I don't mind the Galio too much, but this, I think, does create quite the opportunity for Sluder to go for something pretty aggressive here, potentially.
Yeah, I feel like you can take something AD here almost even, despite the fact that it is Galio, right? He can build tanky. He wants to build magic resistance almost always. So I feel like there's an AD mid here that you can kind of slam that would be pretty good. Not sure what though. Like, I feel like
do we have a visual bug here, perhaps?
Yeah, maybe there's a communication going on in the chat or something, because I feel like it should have been locked in. I was thinking like Talon or something, just for that ability to also roam and dive the Ezreal Karma and things like that, if you're able to get that push in. Oh, it's
There it is, the
Yone.
Yone. Okay. We see that definitely more often than the Talon. The Talon would have been exciting for sure.
Yeah.
The Yone, I think, a little bit more standard these days as far as those AD mid options are concerned. Does mean that the side of the Pylons really only have this Elise for magic damage, which can be potentially problematic, but it's not like anybody on Orion is really going to be stacking that much armor anyways.
Yeah, I feel like mid-cool is probably the only one who's really going to build any amount of it. You know, Jolts is, I don't think is going to build almost any as Mordekaiser. You know, Itaconic might get it from like Death's Dance or some sort of bruiser item, but there's no way you're not building like near full damage on Zehen. So I feel like this is a really interesting comp, and like, I don't know. I'm really curious if this is Nautilus support or Nautilus jungle, because if this is Nautilus support, I hate the Pylons draft. I will be real.
It does look like that is the case,
Yeah.
Storm. I'm taking a look at the client draft right now, and it looks like Elise has been locked in the jungle position. I think it is still allowed for them to swap at the last second. I believe that is within the bounds of the rules, so we'll see. But
Yeah.
at this time, it is looking like Jabber is going to be piloting that Elise in the jungle. And I do completely agree with you. If that is the case, the Nautilus feels like it's going to be suffering quite a bit. And when you pick something like the Caitlyn, it is so important that you win lane, right? That is really what this champion does. So Kami and Godly down there, I think it's really critically important that they have a better game for themselves here in game number 2 for the Pylons to really stand a chance.
Yeah, I mean, the real person I'm watching is Jabber on Elise. Like, Elise is the snowball champion. If Elise is ahead, she one-shots you, and she feels like the most unfair champion to play against in the world. If Elise is behind, she is objectively, like, worthless, and her only utility is a stun, right? That is hard to hit because it is a line skill shot. So I feel it's all on Jabber, right? He has some great lanes to gank for in terms of other things. Like, he doesn't have to focus for his Caitlyn Nautilus. That is a great lane to gank, but you can also gank Ornn. You have all the CC set up there. Mordekaiser is no real way to get away from things. The ability to gank Yone, because you generally, if you're playing this Galio mid, you're kind of diving in with those heroic charges and things like that to like, so you're going in. So there is that a way that if Galio burns his E, you're able to just get so much damage onto him, especially with the Yone knockup to follow up on your CC. So to me, it's all on Jabber. If Jabber does not have at least 3 kill participation by 6 or 7 minutes, this game's over.
So what do you think he should go about it? What kind of strategy would you like to see Jabber employ in this game on the Elite in order to give himself the best chance of getting himself that early lead?
I honestly think it's a 3 camp into a gank somewhere. Like, you cannot... If there's a full clear from this Elise, I'm going to be like molding. I'm going to be so mad at what is happening. So I really want to see Jabber go for like a 3 camp. You can even do the 1 camp if you are feeling incredibly spicy and just flip the game completely. But like, Elise is that champion that you kind of need to do it on. Like, you're playing like Shaco levels of like, no, I'm going to cheese my opponent today. Like, that's what this pick is to me. So
yeah. I mean, we never see it these days. We don't see it in pro, obviously. We don't really see it in solo queue either. Nobody is playing Elise right now. The champion just does not feel very powerful, and mostly because it just feels really inconsistent. I mean, exactly like you're talking about. If the Elise does get ahead, she can still be really oppressive. But it just feels like your window to actually find that advantage is so small, and it can be really difficult to actually make that happen. So definitely, I feels like Jabber and Sluter, they were kind of the hope in the last game for the Pylons, but the team overall just fell too far behind early. And with a draft like this, it feels like the Pylons are kind of almost making a statement for themselves. Like, okay, we must win early, or, you know, it's just they're all in on early. Like, they're basically saying this game has to be different.
Yeah, they're going to try and flip the script. They're going to try and get a 23-minute win. I don't think they're... What's your timer? If this game hits 28 minutes, do you think there's no hope for the Pylons? What's the doomsday clock? When are we saying, okay, the game's over no matter what for the Pylons?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, the Elise is going to be useless, but like the rest of their comp, you know, if assuming they're not too far behind at 28 minutes, then I honestly think it's playable. I don't know. I think, yeah, I more than like having a hard limit as in terms of like deadline on this composition. Again, I just feel like it's so important that they win early, because I think if they fall behind, that's when it's doomed.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to see a 5K gold lead by like 15 or 6, like a big gold lead. Like, okay, maybe not 5K by 15 or something. That would be ridiculous, but at least 2 or 3K. That's my hope. I think that's what you have to have for the Pylons, but we'll have to wait and see. I feel like we just got to send it. Make sure you guys keep coming in, and we will be getting to this ad break here shortly.
Yeah, we'll see. It was a 23-minute win for Orion in that game number 1. The Pylons going to need to flip the script if they are going to take it here in game number 2. We'll be right back with the second game in the series. All right, everybody, welcome on the Rift for game number 2. XSV Orion on the blue side this time around, and the Pylons taking up positions on red. Jabber Jabber on the Elise. Let's see what he's going to look for in this early game.
Okay, Shane is already doing a thing that I really hate and don't think is correct, and he is doing the refillable start and trying to like be sneaky and then get his Doran shield to get that extra little bit of advantage, quote unquote. But it just means you're absolutely worthless at level 1, and Mordekaiser can punish you on that.
Why does that get you an advantage exactly, not having the Doran's shield as you're walking out of base?
Because Doran's gives you a whole bunch of extra stats, including like hitting minions and stuff like that. So it means he's probably going to have to burn one of these refillable potion charges at least, because Mord can just walk at him and fight him.
Right. And right, because the refillable is 150, and so that means you can't afford the Doran's Shield and the refillable. Makes sense.
It's just like the
you can't craft the refillable either, so that's why you have to start the refillable. Okay.
Yes.
I'm caught up now.
Yeah, and I just hate it. I feel like this is just terrible, personally, but it's also that thing. Mord generally pushes the lane in, so you're going to be able to catch the lane and do something. He also put a ward down in his Tribush, which I would really like to highlight. They also made sure to try and get that ward down towards the Raptors as well, really tracking Jabber so that they know where this Elise is going to be.
Yeah, really nice tracking there from Orion. That's kind of when the Mordekaiser is vulnerable, right before he's level 6. And that is exactly also when Jabber needs to be making an impact. So really heads up there. And Jabber, it's looking kind of like a full clear right now, Storm.
Yeah, it is. And I'm not happy. There is a plethora of champions you can play if you want an AP jungler that's like going to be able to do something. This is not the one you want. Sluter is absolutely not looking very good right now in the mid cool, but is Yone, so does have that advantage of, hey, I don't have any mana. Gets a great trade here.
Yeah, both mid laners going down extremely low, actually. It's going to be Sluter going down so low. The Q and the flash away, just barely. The Yone able to pick up the first blood.
That is just a little bit of a hands diff there. I think if Midcool had have also flashed, he would have killed Sluter, because I'm pretty sure he had the Justice. I don't know what the name is of the
Justice Punch.
Galio pass. The Galio passive
Colossal
is
Smash.
The Colossal Smash was primed.
In the bot lane, but the tether in response for Chief going to get the root onto Godly, and this is why we were worried about the Nautilus. He does take a lot of damage, but a little bit of a trade back there from Kami, finds the headshot onto Kartana. The jungler is going to be meeting in this bot side river. Going to miss for Godly. And he might be having the flash away here. Meanwhile, the junglers are duking it out in the pixel brush. It's going to be the repel up. The Elise and Kartana going deep for that kill. Does find it onto Godly, but Kami should be able to trade this one back and does find it with the Peacemaker. And now Jabber to pick up this kill onto Chief as well. And it looks like the Karma will be able to flash away, burns the flash and the heal, gets back under the tower. Meanwhile, Itaconic also did have to flash, but will be able to get himself that bot side crab.
Okay, so messy early game, good for Pylons, right? We want to see them fighting and doing stuff like this, so big plus for them there. Don't love to see Cart chasing that far deep to kill a Nautilus. Right. Maybe if it was on Kami and it was denying that farm and everything as well, I could maybe see it, but doing it on the support just feels really bad. Caitlyn now is walking into lane with a pickaxe, and you have 2 long swords because of this.
And a tier.
Yeah, but does a tier really count as an item? I don't think it does yet.
Not yet,
shows that
but it will be later.
Yeah.
We do have the top crab, I think it looks like, is being taken by Itaconic. It looks like that is going to be secured by the Zahen.
Yep.
So a little bit of a lead there in the jungle. Dredgeline going to connect for Godly down here in the bot lane. And it doesn't really take too much punishment for that one. We do also have the mid laners continuing to trade.
Kami is not on point with these snap traps back after the Nautilus hook. I believe that is something that you can just time that, right? That if someone gets hooked, you just put a trap down under them. There is enough arm time on it.
Yeah, I feel like that should be pretty doable. Ooh, pretty cute from Kartana there. A little bit risky, but does find the proc on the W with the Arcane Shift. Godly is moving forward here. He's going to find that hook, and he doesn't have E. The Ezreal doesn't have E. He's going to be forced to stand and fight, but the net is going to land onto Kartana, who doesn't have flash. The auto attacks Kami flashing forward, needs one more, and he's going to find it. Kill number 2 for the Caitlyn. And Kartana, again, just playing aggressively, looking for damage onto Godly, and is just going to be punished by this Caitlyn.
Yeah, so that's big for Kami. He's going to get his first plate here as well. I'm pretty sure that was solo as well. Godly deciding to run away from that as well, which is pretty big here. So just lots of money coming in for this Caitlyn here. Going to be able to hopefully get this BF sword and really accelerate themselves. I'm guessing that's still the Caitlyn build, as you just kind of rush as much physical AT as humanly possible. We'll see on this reset here what that's going to be. But kind of normal items coming out for everyone else here. It's interesting to say Shane here hasn't finished any MR so far. I think.
Yeah, I mean, not too many items just in general in that inventory right now. Looks like it might be a Spectre's Cowl coming in a moment here. But the fact that first Dragon went over to Pylons as well feels fantastic. Their early game is going pretty nicely so far.
Yeah. And this is kind of the great point as Mordekaiser and Jolts of you just need to pull the lane and force Ornn to run away from his tower so that you can ult him and then kill him.
Yeah. Shane able to play pretty safely so far in this lane, not really overextending. You know, he's starting to fall pretty significantly far behind in CS, but as long as you're not... Okay, we got a wraparound happening in bot lane. Jabber and Godly can be looking for a play here. Kartana, no flash on this Ezreal. Just never saw that one coming. Just kind of accepts his fate. That is going to be kill number 3 for Kami. And Jabber looking for some more onto Chief. The dredge line is not going to land, so the Karma will be able to get back under the tower. Jolt's taking a turret shot here in the top lane. Does find the Obliterate, though, onto the Ornn.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be a reset here from Jolts. I can't imagine he's actually looking for anything here. I mean, Shane is very low on mana, so he probably can't do all that much. But you are so low. There's no real point playing aggressively like this. I guess, you know, Jabber was down bot lane, but at least pretty speedy on the map, especially in Spider Farm, because you all that movement speed. And we see them running top lane right now. Didn't even stop off at Krugs, so there is the gank opportunity. Jolts does have his R, though.
Right, and Shane really can't contribute much. Oh, there is the Death Realm committed onto the Ornn, who does flash away to not get taken down. Now Mordekaiser, no ult. You do have Iconic covering this potential play from Jabber's going to find the spider in the bush, who will repel away back towards the Krugs. And so Jolts will be able to get this wave fully pushed out. Shane will be able to teleport back, though, so he's not going to miss too much.
Yeah, and you see Chief even making sure to be out on the roam to see if there is going to be a fight over these grubs coming on. Jabber just looking to see if he could get something on the mid-cool or something like that, catch someone on the rotation, maybe seeing if he can go in and smite one of these grubs away. Doesn't look like it. Iconic going to be happy with the 2 there. Just go back to full clearing his jungle.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 is really what you want out of the grubs. The third one is just gravy. We'll see if anybody goes back for that third grub at some point. It might just end up getting ignored. We do have another dragon coming up in a couple of minutes' time.
Yeah, and we do see that there is an invade being looked at here. Jabber is looking to see if he can catch someone on the roam, see if he can find Iconic here.
The jungler's going to spot each other on the red buff, but Jabber does not really have any help, and he misses the cocoon. The Elise tries to flash away, but the pullback, the dreaded return is there for Iconic, and they're going to give the kill over to the Zahen as well. His first of the game going to be accelerated towards that Trinity Force. And it kind of feels like Iconic is going to need to be the main carry this game, given how far behind Kartana is falling. In fact, that mid-cool is on this Galio. He's building full tank there, so gold onto Iconic is really nice news for Orion.
Yeah, and I mean, Sluter is getting very close to the break point, right? Getting closer and closer to having that fork finished, which is really so come online as Yone. So
yeah. Here comes Jabber again. You know, look for a lane gank potentially here in the bot lane.
Yeah,
this like Godly is he's going to go for the death charge onto Chief, who does immediately respect that, flashes away. That was probably necessary for the Karma. So ult for flash. Godly going to be feeling pretty good about that one. Just in time for the dragon spawn as well. 35 seconds.
Yeah, hopefully they're able to get something with this, but they need to find a pick or something, right? I feel like in the straight up fight, Pylon's comp is a lot weaker than Orion's, so they really need to make sure that they can pick on someone who doesn't have flash, and the only person that is Chief, because they just forced it here.
Okay, nice buffer there for Kartana. Gets away from the dredge line, even though it did connect. Really big item completions coming through there for Orion. The Trinity Force done for Iconic, and the Sunfire done for Mid-Cool. They should be ready and able to fight this objective. just now spawned, immediately going to be started up by the Pylons. See if Orion can get in here to contest it in time. Got Kartana coming on the off angle. Midcool going to start up this fight. Flashes for the taunt. He's going to find it onto Kami, who's chunked down to about half. Iconic trying to get in there. Flashing forward. Finds the ready to return onto the Caitlyn as a true shot barrage. And the shutdown for the Ezreal. Sluter with the Q3 trying to get away from this one. Dashes back into the Wolf Pit. Kartana has to be a little bit careful, going pretty deep again here. But the Pylons are not wanting to continue this play. They've lost their AD carry, and so they will be giving this dragon over. We're going to be all tied up in the dragon count.
Yeah, that's pretty disastrous for the Pylons, not getting this early game lead here. And we even saw there, Jolts went down and finished the third grub.
Ooh, just because he blocked there for Midcool. The Cocoon is going to miss again, though. And Chief has a good amount of damage. The Repel does go off for the Elise, but Jabber is pretty low. And Iconic's trying to get in there, and he will be able to squish the Spider. Midcool surviving on a sliver of health. He's ignited. He's ticking down, and he will be finished off by that Ignite. But now Godly is very low as well. Iconic is going to have the revive. He's almost able to take down Sluter. The Flash not really getting the distance. The dreaded return is there. The Q3 for the Yone will be able to get him to safety. Will just be the 1-for-1 in mid lane.
Oh god, it's so close, all these fights, and we're on a Chemtech Rift, so this is going to be really big for snowballing for Pylons. This is kind of one of the tricks. You know, it sucks to actually have as like your soul. It isn't like that big win condition, but it just, the blast cones allow you to shut vision out so easily. So this is one of those dragons, I think, that does have a really high tendency to get shorter game times going here. Again, big item completions coming through here. We see, you had mentioned the Trinity Force already done for Zahen. Ezreal getting closer and closer to his done as well. Caitlyn getting her first item with that Hex Optics done. Sluter having his Bork done now. And just look at these trades bound to mid-cool now.
Yeah, the Yone is feeling really comfortable now with that Blade of the Ruined King done. Midcool can't really scrap with the Yone anymore. Just has to try to clear out these minion waves as best he can. Thankfully, the Sunfire is very good at that.
Yeah. We see some of these supports items coming out as well as we're just getting highlighted over that the Moonstone Renewer is done, but it iconic.
Looking for it. 2 levels down on Sluter, though, and the Zion doesn't have ultimate. There is going to be the Grim, or he does have the ultimate, actually. Yeah. My mistake. Midcool, though, is going to get taken down. Sluter, level 11, just too strong. Able to fight him off in the 1v2. Takes down the Galio. Although we do have Kami left alone. The Caitlyn's going to be having the 90 caliber net. Gets away from the Ezreal Karma.
Yeah, and there's all of those pings going down immediately onto Jabber. They know exactly where this Elise is, but a fight's still happening.
Yeah, that's going to be the knock-up onto Chief. The trap does go down, but it doesn't quite actually get the root, and Chief is going to be able to get away. You called that out earlier already. The trap placement not quite on point for Kami. Allows Chief to survive.
Yeah, that's really big that he didn't go down. Cart as well is just pumping damage in here.
Flashing for the Peacemaker. That is going to be a trade of flash between the AD carries. The Ace in the hole is not enough damage, and Iconic goes on a spree. 3-0 now on the Zahen. An absolute tragedy for Kami.
Yeah, there's no real positive spin to it. You burned your flash, you burned your ult, and you didn't get anything for that. You gave a kill over to the already fed Zahen. You can see Shane here trying his best to just deny Jolts from just killing his plates over and over again, utilizing that third grub here. It does have ult here. He can try and look for it, but at the same time, it's just that thing of more just ults you, and then your ult never connects that part 2 of it. But
I mean, there is kind of the skill check where the Mordekaiser ultimate does have that little bit of a cast time as well. So, you know, if you, as the Ornn, can Bellows Breath the Mordekaiser ultimate, then that can be really hard winning, but it can be a bit tricky to pull that off.
I will also say it's much easier because Jolts is not using Project or one of these other skins, so it is the same animation of him raising his arm now. Whereas with other skin lines, it changes, and you can, and I don't know what the visual cue is. But
that is kind of pay to win, honestly.
Yeah.
A teleport coming in towards the bot lane. This is Midcool, who's going to be joining up with his bot lane. That is going to push Godly and Kami away. The Spidey hook to try to get Godly out to safety now does create enough distance for the Nautilus. And that mid outer was already taken by Sluter. So mid cool is not really losing too much here. In fact, Iconic is going to be able to move in there and pick up that minion wave.
Yeah, and I'm kind of hoping we're going to be able to see Sluter be the one who's able to match Jolts on the side lane here. This is a really Yone favored matchup into the Mordekaiser. We saw an Emerald on our last cast that didn't go too great, but this is a very, very powerful counter matchup for Sluter here, the Yone into the Mordekaiser. So I'm thinking this should be kind of the lane assignments moving forward should be Sluter matching, and then it'll just be Midcool and Shane against each other. Neither of them will ever kill each other. We can see this Herald getting focused down. It is 15 seconds.
Nice buffer for Kartana. The Death Charge does go down. The trap again, not quite finding the CC. Kartana trying to trade back with these Mystic shots. I mean, another Dredge line onto the Karma, and the Ezreal is chunked down pretty low. In comes the Zahen, though, finds the knock up onto Kami. The teleport in for Sluter, but he's too late to save the AD carry. And again, it is Iconic on this Zahen. He's starting to camp bot really heavily. Ready to return will not find the Yone, but his work is already done. The Death Realm committed in the top lane. So we are kind of going back and forth here. There's going to be the Fate Seal. Does connect it onto a couple of members for Sluter, but not enough damage to actually finish anybody off. And the pullback onto Godly, who's completely out of mana. No more mana to go for some hooks to safety. The tether is going to be there. The Mystic Shot does land. Kartana underneath the turret gets the flash out from Godly. Needs the minion wave, needs the auto attack is all. And does manage to finish off the Big Daddy. Here comes Jabber, though. The Elise trying to get something back, but it's going to be the Galio ultimate out in response. We have the teleport in for Shane as well, but the Grim Deliverance and the flash forward for Iconic finishes off the Elise. And now Shane all alone. It does have some more members coming in. No, there's going to be the Yone over the wall. Is going to find Kartana. Takes down the Ezreal. Shane still alive here on the front lines. That's going to be the flash away from Midcool. Does barely get back underneath the tower. Shane does eventually go down. It's going to be the res for the Zahed. Now it's teleported for Mordekaiser as well. Everybody joining the party down here in the bot lane. In the end, I think a favorable fight for Orion.
I guess, but the chaos is happening for Pylons, so it's kind of a win for them as well. I mean, Sluter got another kill. He is 3-0-1, and he's almost 10 CS a minute right now as Yone, right? He's basically there. It's 18 minutes, 180 CS. So he is really, really rich, and it's the Sluter show, I think, for Pylons here. If he can win it, it's off his back, because Jabber, I think it's fair to say, has not performed up to snuff so far.
Yeah, I think the sun has officially set on the Elise in this game.
Yeah.
See if we can find those stuns. This is Kami trying to retake some control over the Tri-Brush. That control word in the Dragon Pit is going to be cleared out as Orion are looking for their second dragon, the first chem tech of the game. Looks like this one is not going to be contested by the Pylons. They're just going to give this over. Only the second dragon for Orion. Not too much to worry about. Try to see if they can... Sluter, I guess, did just have his second item in base there. So does have a pretty big spike with that shield bow done now. Wasn't in time for the objective, but we'll see if Sluter can find some more kills in the meantime before that next one spawns.
Yeah, and I'm also hoping Kami can get to their second item. Kami can get to their next item, because they are in the Elise power trough, or sorry, the Caitlyn power trough of you are just absolutely worthless until late game now, right? It's like one item Caitlyn is like one of the best ADCs in the game, and then like 2 and 3 item Caitlyn is one of the worst. And then once you hit like 4 and 5 and you're just auto range, it just means you can like 3-shot people because you're an ADC, which is what happens when every ADC has 4 or 5 items. Caitlyn's just really good again because you're have the most range basically of any ADC. But there's a wrap coming around for Mordekaiser here on the Kami.
Yeah, here comes Jolts. Godly in a really tough spot right now. Kartana almost just able to zero out Kami. The Caitlyn has to find a true shot barrage, but not quite landing onto the Caitlyn there. Godly still in a bunch of trouble. Iconic dashing forward with the Orient Rush, able to take down that Nautilus. And things going from bad to worse for the Pylons. We do have Shane doing a little bit of work in that top lane and be able to take that top outer, but Kami still on the run. Does manage to net himself over the wall there. Gets away from the very scary Darkin.
Yeah, I also don't really know if this play gonna come to anything.
Jabber.
I guess this
looking for something on
probably
mid-pool here.
dies.
Dashing forward with the Justice Punch. But the Yone already taking a couple of turret shots. There's going to be the flash over the wall for Chief. Gets the shield, but it's not enough. As the Yone has the damage. Sluter takes down mid-cool. Jabber slowed up by the inner flame, but nobody else around to try to follow up on that. Good attempt for Chief. Actually, maybe with the heal, mid-cool could have survived long enough to get out. I don't know.
Yeah, so hard to tell. I mean, the Fate Unbound was still available for Sluter, which is like that extra damage there. Is going to get this turret for himself. Hoping we're going to be able to see IE or something coming out for Sluter, because I think he just needs to do that much damage right now. There are the components coming. We saw the first Ornn upgrade has come through already onto Kami here for Shane as well. Okay. Yeah. So we're saving IE upgrade for our for Sluter here too.
Really big spike right now for Kartana, though, on this. Ezreal has those 2 items done. Muramana fully transformed, so he is ready to fight as well. Of course, we do have that Phantom Dancer also done for Kami. Next Dragon, couple of minutes out. And, you know, if we do see Chemtech Soul Point going over to Orion, you know, is that something that you feel the Pylons really do need to deny, or are you less worried about the Chemtech Soul here? How critical do you think it is that the Pylons are ready to fight for this next dragon?
I feel like they have to, because Chemtech Soul's actually good on the champions on Orion. Like, normally it doesn't matter all that much, but Mordekaiser and Zehen are both really, really good with it. Also, Karma is strangely as well, just because her shields get bigger the lower health she is, I believe.
Yeah, not as much with the soul, but just with the individual dragons give her so much value.
Yeah. So I think the individual dragons are actually like really big, and like the soul point actually being stronger for Jolt and Idiconic as well. So I think this is a dragon you actually do have to carry about. You can't just try and flip a soul with an Elise repel. That is the other thing Elise is good at towards late game, is her steal potential is still quite strong.
Okay. Either team really getting started with the setup on this just yet. We do have Jolts with some priority in the bot lane. Mordekaiser fogging himself once again here, threatening a roam right now towards the mid lane. Kami getting pincered at the moment, tries to go for that, but the Death Realm is going to be there. The Caitlyn is in so much trouble, does sidestep the Obliterate, and the Death's Grasp is going to miss as well. Actually trading decently onto the Mordekaiser, but not decently enough. Eventually, the Caitlyn comes out of the Death Realm to find her demise in the form of Idiconic. It's going to be a kill onto Godly as well. They will respawn in time for the dragon, but there's not going to be any kind of setup whatsoever for Pylons.
Yeah, especially with
waiting and find a cocoon onto mid cool, but that's not really a target you can engage on.
Sluter, okay, nothing really happening here. Just seeing if somebody was going to be out of position here, but you can just see Idiconic 7-0-4 right now is so huge on this Zehen, and it's just that thing is you're Jolts and you land an isolated Q, and it was what, a third of Kami's HP bar just went away instantly.
Yep.
It's just ADC things. I pity everyone who plays this miserable role. Gonna flip a Baron, I guess.
4-level difference, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is interesting. So the Pylons identifying that they cannot fight the dragon, so they're trying to trade for the Nash, and you know, the rotation up here is going to be there, though, for Orion.
It's just a straight flip, isn't it?
The Death Realm is about to come back off cooldown, and they're already bursting down Kami. The Caitlyn is going down solo, finished off by Chief. The Baron is going to be secured by Jabber, but how many buffs are they actually going to be able to get out with? Shane flashing back out of the pit, but the flash follow is there for Jolts. Should be able to finish off that Ornn. It looks like 3 Baron buffs will survive for the Pylons. While the Soul Point did go over, probably the best that they could get in that situation, to be honest.
Yeah, probably a pretty good trade for them. They kept it on Sluter as well, which means they maybe have some side lane pressure or something like that if they're able to get anything in regards to that. It's just their wave clear is so exceptionally bad, right? Because they have Yone mid and they have Elise, so they don't have any ability to actually like clear waves. It's just fight people on waves is more what the wave clear is for the Pylons.
Well, it's a good thing they're the ones that got the Baron then. If that was stolen away, then it's probably just game over.
Yeah,
but they did manage to get the smite for Jabber. You already had hinted at that the Elise is very good at securing these objectives with the missing health damage on the, I think it's the Spider Q form, right?
Yeah,
or the
noxious
Spider form Q. Yeah. So was able to get that, and that is going to buy the Pylons some time. But the clock is ticking. Chemtech Soul, 3.5 minutes out.
I'm sorry. Did Shane upgrade the freaking shield bow from Sluter?
Well, technically, it would have been Sluter's decision because it's whichever item is first in your inventory is what gets upgraded.
I know, but could
it's not really Shane's fault.
Could we not just have waited and got our AE upgraded?
Shane?
But anyway, Shane dead.
He's dead. Yeah, no, he's just dead. He has nowhere to go here, no friends anywhere in the area, and it's gonna take him a minute, but eventually Orion will take down the Ornn. That's gonna be Itaconic going legendary, 8-0 on the Zahen. B1 in the draft, remember.
Yeah, has Hysteric's Gauge done now, starting to get towards this death stance, just fully optimizing his items against Sluter because he realizes he is the only person ever going to hurt him. Jabber is very firmly in I am a cocoon bot territory right now. I honestly think he should just start building CDR. It doesn't matter about AP. You're never killing anyone at this point. I think if
maybe we just go support items now.
Yeah,
on the Elise.
Honestly, I think if he full combos onto even like someone like Chief, he isn't going to kill them, like straight up.
No, I think you're right.
Even with a 2-level lead and full damage items and Karma having no MR, I still don't think it's even close.
Yeah, it was not a happy game for the Elise. Well, you knew it was a gamble as soon as it got locked in, right? There's just so many more meta AP options that just give you a higher baseline value. But, I'm sure this is something that Jabber has played a decent amount in the past, and so he had some comfort on it, and they wanted to try to hard win the early game, but they just weren't really able to get anything done. And now it does feel like the win conditions are diminishing rapidly for the side of the Pylons in this game. Less than 2 minutes on the Dragon now, and it's just so much control over the map for XSV Orion.
Yeah, I mean, you got IE done on Yon and Kami now, which is something, but we're still so far away from...
Itaconic dashing forward, going to find the dreaded return onto Shane. Bellow's Breath to try to go CC immune for just a moment, but the Death's Grasp pulls the Ornn back in, and Shane doesn't even try channeling the ultimate. It just accepts his death, hopes that his team can survive, but it's Itaconic dashing over the wall with the Orient Rush, looking for more. Flashes on top of Kami, finds the knock-up. The Caitlyn flashes away, but the Grim Deliverance is going to allow the Zahen to follow over the wall. The Caitlyn does flash and ghost away and does actually survive, but Jabber is going to get squished once again, and Itaconic will find his 9th kill.
Yeah, so we were wondering if a full Elise combo would kill, and we can see in this replay that's what happens. And Chief goes to about half health here, I think, after getting Elise comboed, it looks like to me.
Yeah. Just we'll see here. This is the combo. Just not quite enough damage there for the Elise. Meanwhile, back in live, there's going to be a hook that brings Jolts underneath the turret temporarily. A couple of turret shots there onto the Mordekaiser. Goes for the Death Realm onto Godly in response. As Sluter does find the knockup onto the Galio, and they're going to be able to take down mid-cool, but the Yone immediately traded back, called the Forge God. Will get the shutdown. That is the first death, and that's
Kami got a shutdown too.
Onto Jolts. They get the Mordekaiser, and that shutdown goes to Kami. And that is just in time for the Dragon spawn. So a overstep for Orion gives the side of the Pylons a little bit of a window back into this game, potentially.
Yeah, and I mean, Jabber is still alive, can still smite and Q to secure this as well. That's a little bit of a throw. I mean, that's some big gold leads getting over there. Really wish our Ornn ult didn't get the 2k or 1k there, but still, it's better that it went over to someone, right?
No, I mean, one of the shutdowns went to Kami. I think the side of the Pylons feel pretty great about that whole sequence. In fact, they were able to finally dole out a death to Itaconic. They got themselves their second Dragon, and now they've got themselves some more time. The Baron is spawning, so we'll see if Orion are going to be able to set up some kind of play around the Nasher and try to retake that control. They still do have about a 3,000 gold lead.
Yeah, I mean, it's right now, it's all on Sluter. Kami is almost to the point where they are starting to become a legitimate threat. Just needs to get this kind of upgrade component finished.
Yeah, it's going to be the LDR. Very close to that.
Oh, okay. Snapback, right? Just
not refinding the soul. No problem. Yeah. No problem at all. It does mean that we no longer have a Mega Blast Cone for the side of the Pylons. But the Baron is not being started just yet for Orion. They're playing this out pretty patiently. we do have Jolt starting to move over. Idiconic going in. Death Charge just find a couple of knockups. Godly's just trying to retreat right now. Sluter doesn't get over the wall with the Soul Unbound. Not quite what he was aiming to do there. Flashbacks to last game when he couldn't get over almost that exact same wall with the Spirit Rush.
Yeah, I was about to say my E is bugged.
No, I don't see any ult chat this time.
Yeah.
So, don't think that was the issue. The Baron now is just going to be taken. There's no way for Jabber to get into the pit. And it's just a free Nasher for XSV Orion.
Yeah, and there's Death's Dance finish now for Idiconic, which is so good on Zahen. Just needs any basically fighter item now at this point will be completely full build and so online. I just don't know how they're going to be able to play this out. We have LDR finished now for Kami, so he at least does damage. It's just, is your front line able to hold it all? I feel like Shane is just getting absolutely melted in these fights.
We need another overstep for Orion for the side of the Pylons that I don't think they can outplay at this point. I think they're relying on a throw. We'll see what the formation is going to be with this Baron buff, kind of grouped up as 5 around the mid lane right now. Looks like Idiconic wants to... Oh, Chief face checking a little bit here. The Karma is going to be shut down. Kill over to Sluter, but Idiconic should be able to trade this one back. We'll find the kill onto Jabber. So 1 for 1 in the jungle.
Yeah, but Jabber being the one to die is probably a win for the Pylons if it's anyone on your team. Pretty sure Godly is more useful at this point, sadly to say.
More engage buttons for the Nautilus. That one only landed onto a minion, though, called the Forge God, activated for Shane, but it's just going to be eaten. Does not actually commune with the Forge God. Sluter does come in over the wall. The heroic entrance over the top.
But look at Kami.
Trying to get out this CC. It's going to be the revive for Idiconic.
Kart's going to die.
Back in, trapped in the Death Realm. As the Ornn is going to get taken out here, although, the Ezreal did fall as well. Sluter over the wall, but gets taunted by Mid-Cool. Has to flash the Death Press. Fate Seal back over the wall. Sluter will survive. Another 1 for 1. This time it's Ornn for Ezreal.
I don't know if that's a win. I feel like you just need Ornn so badly. You just need front lines that Kami and Sluter can actually kill and hit people. You saw that Shane channeling his ult meant that all of the CC was immediately focused onto him from the side of Orion, just desperately trying to stop that R2 cast. So that meant that Kami just got to free hit, and we saw a Cart eat forward with that arcane shift and just got absolutely obliterated by Kami, who had lethal tempo stacked.
I saw that a couple of times from Kartana this game, playing very aggressively on the Ezreal. Has been punished a few times now. But still, it is a very strong position for XSV Orion. 30 seconds on the Dragon spawn as the Pylons try to make their way back out onto the map. No vision really to speak of. It's all been cleared out by Orion as they move into the jungle, and they spot out Jabber. The jungler is going to get taunted up by the Galio. Can he find a miracle with the Blast Cone? No. Jolts takes the kill. The soul will go over, and likely the game for XSV Orion.
Yeah, we can see Sluter is just in that top lane brush. You can see on live just trying to do things. But I was even going to point out, like, they don't even have any camps in their bot side jungle for Sluter to be able to stack off of and get a Q3 up to maybe try and play this fight. So it's just this case of what are they going to do now that Soul has gone over? Do they just try and stall the game out and flip for an Elder or something like that? And how are Orion going to close this out? Because I feel like they have to wait for this Baron. I don't think they can just brute force an end here, even with this Soul.
Yeah, they don't have a great siege for the side of Orion. That is true. We'll see. I think they should have the option to play on multiple lanes here, though. They've got 2 split off towards the bot side right now. Zedekana gets in there. Destroys the crystalline overgrowth, and they should be, at the very least, be able to take this bot inner turret without too much issue.
Yeah, I'm amazed Shane didn't die there for being at his tier 2 and not... There wasn't like any sort of engage onto him or anything like that, because you guys have enough damage that I don't think Ornn being like tanky really matters at this point in the game.
Idiconic had the turret aggro, which made that slightly awkward for the Zahen. Didn't want to take an excessive number of turret shots engaging onto the Ornn. Just wanted to focus on the structure. And so they will be able to get that down. You know, the Soul, obviously, as we already mentioned, did go over. The gold lead is kind of stagnated around 3,000. And Kami and Sluter both are very strong, but just feels like it's so tough to actually get the fight that they want for the side of the Pylons.
Yeah, for me, it just feels like it's so hard for Sluter to actually get in this fight and hit people, right?
Yeah.
That there's Galio, there's Karma to root him, there's Idiconic who can knock him up and things like that. Like, there's just so much CC that Sluter has to be worried about. I mean, we've seen basically all of these Yone ults have been tools to reposition so that he isn't getting killed. He's not actually being able to deliver these to kill people.
Okay. They're in 40 seconds. You can see the side of the Pylons desperately trying to get a ward anywhere around this pit, but diligence from Orion clearing out all of this vision, denying the information from the Pylons.
Yeah, and we saw an Elise Spider just hit Idiconic there, and I think it did 200 damage to him.
Yeah. That's generous, I would say.
Yeah.
As yeah, the mid priority.
Okay.
Maybe their mid cool dashing forward, pulled in by the dredge line. Depth charge committed onto Chief. Godly on the front lines. That's gonna be a decent front Grim Deliverance, though. It does come out. Godly already going down solo, and Kami killed off on the side. Iconic focusing down the AD carry, picks up the double kill. Shane pulled back in, taunted up. The fate sealed from Sluter, but it's just a little bit too little, too late. As Pylons will be decimated in the mid lane, 5-0 in the final fight of the game. The Pylons, they did last a little bit longer this time around, but it's going to be XSV Orion going up to match point in this round of 16 playoff match.
Yeah, that's a big win for them. Getting up to Soul Point so early in a series just means so much of the pressure is off of them now. It's all on the Pylons to see if they can make that miracle comeback play happen and get the reverse sweep going.
Yeah, really, the Pylons up against the wall now. Really curious to see what kind of strategy they're going to end up going for in this Game 3 draft. It's, you know, with the season on the line, what do you try to rely on? You know, Kami's Caitlyn now is no longer available. Things like the Ari are no longer available as well. The Mel is consistently getting banned. We'll see, but yeah, the side of XSV Orion, they definitely had a couple of whoopsies in this game, but overall pretty dominant again here. And Cartana did the most damage, but I don't think he's the POG.
Oh God, no. That Ezreal made that game very, very hard, I would want to say. A lot of fights just going in. We can see in this last fight here that Kami just gets absolutely destroyed by Idiconic there. Chief burning all of his things to live. He should have died to Jabber probably if Jabber was any other champion in this game, but unfortunately he was Elise.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of looking at Iconic. That is a mighty fine KDA there in the jungle. Got 4 dragons, got 2 barons. Played pretty well as a hand. I feel like it's pretty easy to go there. I think Chief also had a pretty great game as Karma, I do want to say as well. I think they deserve a pretty big shout out as well. Midcool basically was just playing don't let Sluter carry the game duty.
Did his job, yeah.
He did his job, but he didn't do anything very impressive. So he's not in POG category. And Jolt's, while he... Okay.
I agree. I think it's iconic for the POG.
Yeah.
14-1-9. I love the fact that he focused bot so hard to make Kami fall behind. I felt like that was really important. But I think we're just going to go ahead and get straight into this Game 3 draft storm is kind of what I was just hearing. So let's jump into it. And we're going to find out right now what the strategy is going to be for XSV Orion.
Okay. We have picked Garen. That's a good champion.
Yeah. Okay, so the Pylon staying on red side is what they've decided to go for, and it looks like they are going to go for the Garen for Shane, as well as that Ambessa in the jungle. So Rumble versus Garen. What do we know about this matchup, Storm?
Pretty sure that it's pretty good for Rumble.
Oh dear.
Because Garen doesn't. I don't know. I feel like it's just one of those things of like Rumble just kind of kites you out in a lot of ways. Like you do have this Q to remove his slow, but he has 2 harpoons, so you can't generally cleanse both. And that means you're not able to like phase rush and trade very effectively, but it is that thing. If you can like one-shot him in a combo, if he like face checks you, later points, like after level 6 and stuff like that. But generally Rumble is pretty good in the top lane. Generally gets banned in pro play like every game for a reason.
Yeah, very just common blind pick as well. One of the common answers into the Rumble is like the Galio, right? And another one is the Ornn, and they're both gone. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we just pick comfort for Shane, try out the Garen, see if he's going to be able to make that work. But the fact that XSV Orion now have the Jarvan alongside the Rumble as well, they've got the Hot Pot combo Storm, really powerful stuff. And the Jhin even for the long-range follow-up as well feels pretty great.
Yeah, we got some artsy Hot Pot with the Jhin to follow up on top of this. Got some paint strokes coming in there.
Fine dining, some artistic cooking happening over here.
Yeah. Guessing we're going to see some sort of just standard mage bid now for Orion. Doesn't even have to be some sort of like CC follow-up or anything like that. They can just pick something that's generally good. We still see the Mel has been banned by the Pylons every single game. Not going to have that chance to come through. And this is the issue of you picking Yunara on 3, is that means your enchanters are probably going to get banned out. There's the Lulu gone from them. Poppy, definitely a good shout-out ban from the Pylons there. Would absolutely ruin both Ambessa. Pretty good against Yunara as well. Scion going to get banned. Guessing they just don't want to deal with that Omega tank who can build armor, and they have locked in a lot of physical damage already. Okay, so what do we got now as our last ban coming through? I'm guessing it's going to be Nami or some sort of support. Nope, going to be Sluder's Lee Sin mid.
Oh, okay. So that explains the Lee Sin ban from earlier as well. I was confused about that before, but Sluder plays it mid. That makes sense. Well, not this game, he doesn't. So we'll see what he decides to go for. Both mid laners still yet to lock something in. I imagine the Pylons are going to save that R5 pick for Sluder once again here, and are going to take some kind of enchanter here on 4. Definitely the expectation. The Nami that you just mentioned, I think, is probably pretty likely. I'm also thinking about something like the Melio. Maybe could be okay. Rakan. All right. Sure. Pretty good follow-up there on like the Ambessa engage, or could set up for the Ambessa ultimate to come through.
I was about to say, I kind of like the Nami because it gave them some sort of engage window, being able to throw down the wave, but Rakan much better for that. Probably not nearly as good with Yunara it's itself in lane, but you're laning against Jhin, so you're probably not really getting many solo kills or anything like that. Jhin just generally is so safe in lane. Guessing there's just going to be some sort of disengage picked here for Orion. They're going to lock in the Aurora here as their mid laner of choice.
That feels so good. I feel like that's so good with the Rumble and the Jarvan. Like the team fighting power is just insane.
Yeah, also pretty safe, generally blind here as well. Pretty sure she matches up pretty well into a Kali as well, which I think is one of the only picks I'm kind of... Oh, has it been? Never mind.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
First ban every game for XSV Orion. They just have not allowed Sluder to even consider that in this series. The Bard is going to come through alongside the Jhin, so that feels like a pretty strong lane. Like they can play aggressively if they want to. They have a good amount of damage early, but Bard can also just go and roam if he wants to. That's a very comfortable option as well. And now Sluder, what do you got back against the wall for the Pylons? Definitely needs some kind of AP option here. Something into the Aurora.
The only other champions I really know is okay, that wasn't one of them. I was going to say was LeBlanc and TF are the other ones I kind of know Sluder for playing. But Lux, that's a lot of damage.
So we do have some Demacia synergy with Lux and Garen. So that's pretty cool.
Sibling synergy even.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jarvan on the other team is pretty spicy. A little bit of a Demacia civil war here to reflect the XSV civil war that's happening. So there's some layers there. I quite like that. Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure we're both pretty firmly on the side of this XSV Orion team looks really, really good. And this XSVP team looks like a car that is has some doors missing, maybe a little engine swap happening in there. Looks like certain things were happening, and then they just decided to go in different directions. It just looks like everyone picked champions that they like for the most part.
Yeah, to be honest, Storm, I would much prefer to just keep kind of talking about the lore, if that sounds good to you.
Yeah, for sure.
So the other thing that's pretty cool here is that Yunara obviously recently, the canon is that she has journeyed to Demacia, carrying the remains of Xin Zhao's spear after their altercation with Otacon and Sahen, of course, who we just saw last game. So there's another layer.
Yeah.
I don't know how Ambessa ties into all this, but she was obviously in a show you might have heard of called Arcane. Which, did you end up watching any of it, by the way, Storm? I seem to remember you saying that you haven't actually seen it.
I watched season 1. I've not started on the second season yet.
Oh, man. Was Ambessa in season 1?
No.
Oh, she was not. So you're just no help at all here, are you?
Yeah, I'm not any help at all. I stopped paying attention to League lore, unfortunately, when they got rid of the summoners. That was a little while ago.
It was a little while ago, yeah. Fair enough, though. I do kind of see where you're coming from. We'll see. I mean, XSV Pylons, I hear that, the in Demacia, they're pretty civilized over there, and they do have kind of a global presence. And as far as Runeterra is concerned, they do have a pretty far-reaching influence. And who else has a global presence, Storm? Is our sponsor, Zen Market, our amazing sponsor. They are your one-stop solution for buying products directly from Japan. They'll help you buy items from over 10,000 different shops, and they will also place bids on auctions on your behalf. They'll even consolidate all your items safely into one box and can ship internationally, even all the way to Demacia. Probably. Don't fact check me on that. They provide excellent customer service in 19 languages, which is why Zen Market is trusted by over 2 million users worldwide. Check the panel below the stream or click the link in the chat to try them out now. If you sign up with promo code Aegis, you'll get 3,000 yen off your first international shipping fee. That's promo code Aegis, A-E-G-I-S. Be sure to check out Zen Market. Zen Market, thank you so much for sponsoring the league. And thank you, everybody, for sticking around as we are going to be getting into game number 3 in just a moment. Alrighty, folks, welcome back onto the good old Rift of Summoning for our third game and possibly last game of the night. XSV Orion pretty convincingly getting themselves up to match point here. And we've got some comfort picks coming out for the Pylons. See if that is going to be what they need to give us a series here in the round of 16. We do have a Raptor Ward going down for Kami. And, of course, one placed there by Orion as well.
Yeah, they have one in the tri-brush as well, so they're not going to have one available to them for this bot lane brush. So I guess they're just going to be trying to seed control here.
We even saw Shane use his ward there to place on the enemy blue buff, so they are going to spot out Itaconic on that blue buff as he starts out as clear. But yeah, a lot of wards committed there by Pylons just at level 1. Godly, really nice double knock up there with the grand entrance. There's a big chunk onto Kartana.
I will say that Chief there also had a pretty good cosmic binding as that minion was dying, that he got that initial stun on the Godly, but Godly immediately going for that play back on it to negate any of that. Playing really well there. Just have to see what it turns into. We see both junglers are pathing down towards this bot side of the map.
Another knockup for Godly, but he's going down extremely low. There is level 2 for Godly and Kami as Kartana slowed up. He's going to have to pop the Ghost. Does get off the 4th shot onto the Yunara. Still needs this melee minion for the Jhin and the Bard to get to actually a Chief with a Chime or something. Did take over to level 2 a little bit earlier.
Yeah, just Bard things. But yeah, we can see top lane going pretty well here. Both of them running Ignite, which I think is really interesting to see.
Electrocute proc there for Chief as well. Kami chunked pretty heavily. You were saying about the top lane?
Both of them running Ignite. There's no TPs for Jolts or for Shane here.
Yeah, Jolt's going down very low. He's going to pop that Ignite onto Shane at the top lane. The flash forward for the Rumble, who had overheated. And they're going to go 1-for-1, but it's Jolts with the first blood.
Yep, that Junkyard passive, I believe, or Junkyard Titan or whatever its name is for Rumble there, with those extra auto attack damage there was so big. Made sure that when he overheated, he was going in. Shane just getting that little bit of it. I mean, it was so close here, right? It was one auto from each of them, and it was ended up being that trade here. Neither of them having Flash or Ignite now means they are more susceptible to ganks. Both of them pretty good gank targets as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if Jabber Itaconics look up here in the next couple of minutes after these crabs go down.
It was just the full clear for Itaconic on the Jarvan, which does always make me a little bit sad, but he is now going to be able to get towards that top crab. Mid-cool going across the Veil, but the losing Singularity connecting the flash away for the Aurora, but Jabber taking the turret shot in the combo from Itaconic off the reset. Had the longsword in inventory, punishes Jabber for looking for that play, and the Ambessa flashing there as well. That is a big loss for the Pylons.
Man, Chief also, every time he looks for these cosmic bindings here, Godly is just getting those knockups right back onto him. Bard notoriously has a very large hitbox as a champion, so it's very easy to hit skill shots on him. Jolt's overheated here, taking some really nasty trade. This is why I said this Garen matchup is not very good into Rumble.
It's tough. I mean, Rumble is just one of those champions that wins almost every melee matchup. He just does so much damage.
Yeah, we can see Godly here is very, very low as well. It just has his bot ticking, so nothing after this. Jolt's gonna have to see what he can do in the top lane here. I'm really curious if he's gonna be able to let Garen get any of this regen, or if he's gonna be able to stop this passive with this Q.
Kami, that's gonna be Godly going for the grand entrance. Does force the flash out from Kartana. Feels pretty nice. Jhin will be able to get this wave pushed out, and then likely gonna be looking for a reset. We did see Kami able to pick himself up an early cull, which does feel really nice for the Yunara.
Yeah, you can see Jhin going for those early boots there. Probably rushing for swiftness boots. Generally don't see anything else on that champion. There they are completed already, so that's pretty useful for the Jhin there. Hopefully it will let him sidestep some of these grand entrances from beyond Godly and the slow circle from Kami.
The slurkle.
I refuse to call it the slurkle.
I just, yeah, I mean, it was pretty rough at first, but I mean, I just feel like Atlas committed to it hard enough. Or I feel like it's come around now, and now it's just what it's called.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
Arc of Judgment.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit too wordy.
Yeah.
You know, as a play-by-play, I understand exactly where Alice is coming from with this one. You know, I can't be saying Arc of Judgment in the middle of a team fight. It just doesn't work.
Can you say the Arc?
I guess.
You just like Slurkle better?
Slurkle is more specific. Arc is too ambiguous.
Okay.
Shane is going to get ignited again here. There goes the equalizer. Shane in so much trouble is just going to get toasted. Jolts picks up the solo kill and made it look pretty dang easy.
I was about to say, this is where this matchup can turn around, because Garen can get solo kills with his ult, and Rumble just used his ult and got a very, very easy-looking solo kill there onto Shane, with no flash to reposition himself out of that ult there.
Nice angle for Jolts. Just recognizing the kill angle. Gonna get another look at it here.
Yeah, you see that Shane was just at half, lands both of the E's. That just gives that huge MR shred, which is the main reason I think why Rumble is like such a high tier pick
Here
right
comes
now.
Jabber, level 5 on the Ambessa, wanting to try to punish Jolts, but there's just not really anything Jabber can do here. Dragon already taken by Itaconic, got himself a very early objective there. Sluter does find the light binding. And Itaconic not in time to actually find any kind of lockdown onto the Lux. Another nice binding onto Godly. Barely gets away from that deadly flourish. Kartana popping the ghost. Gets the level 6. Kiting forward. Finds the dancing grenade onto both of them. Is going to look for the curtain call here. Yes, of course he is. Looking for the shots now onto the Rakan ideally. But he's going to happily take them onto Kami instead. Who is now also chunked extremely low.
Yeah, I'm wondering how close Chief is here to 6. Because then we can ult and turn this tower off and look for that play onto Kami. Or just get a magical journey over the wall here. I cannot believe Kami is sticking around here.
Oh,
he is so
really
low.
Dangerous. Does have both summoners.
He has barrier too.
And Kartana no ult, obviously. He does have his.
Yeah.
Kartana gonna respect it. Just gonna back away, allow that minion wave to come in.
Okay.
Very close right now to level 6 for the Bard as well. That in just a moment. Godly, of course, also closing in on that level 6 mark. It's actually going to tick over to it first on that Rakan.
Yeah, just
Grubs are now available. Nobody making any moves towards that just yet.
Yeah, we see that there is a little bit of a move down here as well from the mid lane. Mid-cool, looking to see if he can punish Kami.
He's going to catch on to Kami. The deadly flourish blocked by Godly, but mid-cool is going to force out the flash immediately. Dashing forward, looking for it. The weirding is not going to land, though. Mid-cool flashing on top of Kami. Has another twofold hex, gets the kill. Meanwhile, Jabber managing to get on top of Kartana's. Both 80 carries get taken down. Mid-cool caught by the light binding, and that is the final spark to get the kill. Sluter on the board, and it's going to be 2 for 1 Pylons in the bot lane.
Yeah, that's a big win from them. You can see Dragon is still 2 minutes
there's the flag
away.
And drag onto Jabber, though, and the public execution already used the Cataclysm. Catches the Ambessa. Itaconic forced to flash away from the light binding, though, and no Jhin here. Means that was just an overstep. Itaconic did not have the damage, and is just going to give over another kill.
Yeah, there's some signs of life here from Pylons. We might be making this a series after all. Money going where you want it to as well for the most part, right? Jabber getting kills is really good for the Ambessa, being able to accelerate yourself. As someone who wants to just kind of go and stat check the enemy ADC, right? And just chase after them with those continuous dashes in the public execution. And then kills onto Sluter, who's been the main carry of this team, of his team, what's felt like this entire year, basically, right? So,
yeah,
big props to him as well. Really curious to see what the build is going to be for Sluter. Lux is one of those champions that, like, you just want so much.
Oh god, Shane. He's just gonna get cooked again. Oh, the ignite is enough. He's just dead. The equalizer, just for good measure. Jules just wanted to make absolutely sure. But now here comes Jabber. Has the Profane Hydra done on this Ambessa. Should have the damage and the dashes. Take down this Rumble, but no. Jules with the flash away. Didn't need it to get the kill. Will be able to use it to survive. Gets back under the tower. Jabber not able to punish. Knock up for Godly in the bot lane. The Tempered Fate does come out, but does not land this time on Takami, but Itaconic is here, and this time they know that Jabber is not anywhere in the area. So the bullet from Kartana takes down Kami, and Godly is just forced to run.
Yeah, I was really worried on that play for a second there. What a great bait from Cart and Chief. Maybe doing it a little bit too much. I think you could have maybe hit that Tempered Fate there to not sell it quite as hard there, but there's another stun, or the root rather,
was the
landing.
fourth shot. He needs to reload now. Yeah. Godly's gonna have to pop the quickness. Actually goes back in one of the grand entrance, but can't find it. Onto Kartana. Oh, you saw what he was looking for there.
Yeah.
It just didn't work out for the Rakan.
I think
Jolts,
Shane needs
meanwhile,
one
retreating from Shane, who doesn't have flash, can't close the distance onto the Rumble, and now Shane just kind of trapped in the jungle here. There's the combo from Itaconic, and the kill is going to be gifted over to Jolts. Insult to injury. So Rumble picks up number 4, and the third grub will be denied from the Pylons.
Yeah, and just when everything's looking great, it comes crashing back down to earth, I think it's fair to say. Shane really struggling in this lane matchup right now is 1-4. Just needs to see if maybe he can find a proxy angle or just something so he doesn't actually have to lane into this Rumble.
Jolts. Oh, Jabber.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Oh, okay, Jolts, I guess. If you get these kills gifted to you, you take them and laugh all the way to the bank.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Jabber didn't have ults. He was 2 levels down. I mean, that just looked like frustration. Desperation, even.
Yeah.
Well, the gold lead is about 2,000 at the moment. Dragon number 2 is alive right now. Sluter gonna have to flash back into the Raptor pit. Itaconic doesn't quite find the knock-up with the combo. Sluter gonna have another light binding in a moment here. Does find it onto both of them, but the twofold hex and the weirding over the wall. Sluter just giving us the thumbs up.
Yeah, it was so close to getting out there, but Itaconic did have that Cataclysm primed and ready in case Sluter burned anything else there. Had already used Flash, but didn't even have to commit the ult, which means they're going to have it up for this dragon that has spawned on the map. We see Jabber is making his way down bot. Kami is
going a little bit of trouble. Finds the Tempered Fate, though, onto Kami, and is going to be able to retreat back towards the turret. Bard Ultimate's been looking pretty good so far. Has caught the Yunara a couple of times.
Yeah, and with that ward being cleared, they should know now that this is Jabber down here in the bot lane. So you can see Itaconic is coming down. Godly really looking for it. Just too deep, though.
At least does manage to get away from the Deadly Flourish. Now we've got Midcool lurking, going across the veil. Godly dashes away, thankfully, and does sidestep that to Deadly Flourish once again. Oh, but the curtain call coming out, and he dies to the Scorch, I think it was, of Midcool, or maybe it was just an auto attack in the air. Either way, it's another kill for XSV Orion, and now this should be their objective as well.
Yeah, should be able to be just a free dragon here. I think they're maybe even looking for the dive onto Kami.
No ult, does have the summoners, pops the barrier, but there is just no way out, nowhere he could go. Gold lead up to 3K.
And meanwhile, Shane just getting cooked.
Yeah. The equalizer comes down. Oh, God, no. He's just gone.
Okay. Maybe once we're level 11 on Garen, we can get a full combo and kill this Rumble. Maybe. Or maybe Rumble's going to buy a book. We do both love to read, right? That could be exciting.
Yeah, no, I mean, I feels like that would be pretty intelligent of Jolts in this scenario. Go for that. It would be an educated decision, even, you could say. We're gonna teleport back for Shane now, and Jabber is here again. No ult for the Ambessa though, and Jolts is not going to overstay his welcome. He is going to take his turret plates and go back home to spend his gold. It's going to be halfway to that second item after this reset. Dragon number 2 is going to go over. Double dragon for Orion.
Yeah, That's pretty big for them. They also have 2 pretty good early dragons already taken for them. It is another Chemtech Rift again, so as I was talking about, able to really
I think we got another dive coming out here. That's going to be the Tempered Fate onto the turret, as well as Kami. Godly in trouble. Does pop the quickness, but Iconic flashes away, puts the Cataclysm onto the Yunara. It's a lot of damage onto the Bard, and the turret shot will finish him off. Sluter helping out a little bit with that final spark as well, but they do take down the Yunara as well as that Rakan. Meanwhile, on the top lane, they try to dive Jolts. He's still alive. Finally, Shane flashes in there, is able to finish off the Rumble. But it's a 1-for-1 in the top lane, and it's 3 for nothing, or 2 for nothing, I suppose, in bot plus the turret.
Yeah, and they just committed 3 summoner spells to kill that Rumble as well. Oh, yeah. It's rather doomed. We're seeing the bounties of shame have come out, or XSV as well.
Bounties of Shane in this case.
Yeah. See if he can claim one of his own bounties that he has so graciously placed.
Yeah. Well, was that surely that was a shutdown onto the Rumble just now, right?
Yeah.
There's a Shane got it in the chat. Yeah, exactly. Pretty cool.
We have bought a crit cloak. Okay. Yeah. We're officially committing to Phantom Dancer or whatever it is on Garen.
I mean, at this point,
sure, whatever.
Yeah, YOLO.
Yeah.
See if you can find those prio targets and one-shot them. It's kind of the chance, I guess.
Yeah,
so certainly, I think just building Bruiser or like tanky Garen and walking at them is not really going to work out. As Kartana have forced to kite backwards, Tempered Fate only onto the Rakan this time. Here comes Jolts, though. So now the Rumble is here. I think we probably just need to be running away as the Pylons. Oh, mid-cool on the off angle. Iconics here as well. Looking for the combo. Doesn't quite manage to find it onto anyone. The minion wave cleared out as well for Pylons. Oh, that's a deadly flourish, though. And there's the equalizer. Godly is going to get cooked. It's going to be a bird for dinner.
Yeah, I think you might be a second ahead of us here on broadcast here, by the way. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Were you, perchance?
Yes, I think we've got it fixed up now.
All right, sounds good. 30. But anyway, Shane looking for the solo kill, getting just absolutely demolished.
Gonna be solo killed himself. In comes Jabber in the mid lane. That's gonna be the flash away for Kartana. The Ambessa still trying to chase, but just ran out of dashes. And Kartana with both summoners will manage to survive. In goes Itatonic, finding the Cataclysm onto Kami, barely surviving for now. Midcool does take down the Ambessa though, and there's the curtain call to finish off the Yunara. Sluter gonna get taken down as well. Sluter in the shooting gallery, and he is the one receiving the bullets. Does take down Itatonic on his way out. So at least that is one back for the Pylons, but it's 4 for nothing. Or, I mean, it was 5. You know, Rakan had gone down there as well. So take a look at the replay.
Yeah, I can see just Kami just trying to go forward, trying to get that kill onto Bard there. And Iconic just with a great ult mid-cool as well, was able to pick that kill back up, but it just goes down as well. And it's just looking again like hope is just gone. I don't know what it is. They don't have any front line for this team, right? So they don't have anyone who can face check towards these bushes. And there's just so much burst for the side of Orion. So I don't know how they're going to get into these fights because they're not first to any of these objectives. They can't be because the waves are pushing against them.
Yeah, trying to get some vision control in the river right now. We've got less than a minute on that third dragon. Would be soul point already for Orion. Dragon's going to be spawning just under 20 minutes.
We have Shane with a brief... Oh, sorry. Shane having a brief timer there on that roam out from top lane, looking to see if he could get something, but wasn't able to. That means Jolts is able to get it pushed. Now Shane has to go out there and catch this wave. Jolts able to roam down, and with the equalizer and how fed this rumble
here comes Iconic. They found the Cataclysm plus the binding onto Jabber, who just gets completely destroyed. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and Rumble is here, which means you have to run away.
Not going to land. The Flag and Drag won't either, and it doesn't matter at all. Midcool just one-shots the Yunara like it's nothing. And they didn't even have a wave on that turret. They just dove without a wave and destroyed Kami. There's nothing that the Pylons could do about it.
Yeah, get Storm Surged, I guess. That's crazy that item actually procs. You like never see that. But Shane getting his bounty in the top lane, that's it's pretty big gold to him. Probably gonna have his Phantom Dancer done now. Don't think that matters in any way, shape, or form, but it's done.
Yeah. Oh, it's not.
Oh, it's not done. Oh God.
Well, it probably will be done before his Nexus explodes.
Yeah, that's exciting. We got our own Storm Surge of Sluter now to see if he can get the one shot. That would be exciting if that could happen. I mean, Cart is rather squishy.
Midcool does almost have his Shadow Flame done, though.
Yeah.
Which is going to be his third item. So Dragon
looking for
being
positives.
taken right now. Oh, my bad.
Right.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. I don't know what else we got for positives here.
Yeah, I mean, I got nothing. Positives department, so that's all you.
Yeah. Sluter's winning in CS like he has been.
Oh, here's a positive.
Series.
Yeah. We did mention this earlier already, but there is going to be an XSV team in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But it's not the one Shane wants to be in the quarterfinals because he's on this other team.
Tempered Fate onto Sluter, flag and drag into the Jin ultimate, and there's the Cataclysm onto Kami, who does transcend himself, manages to dash out of that one, has to flash over to the Mega Blast Cone, does manage to get onto it, and gets away from the Rumble. In goes Shane, trying to take somebody down, is not able to do so though, and everybody's going to die except for Godly for now.
Yeah. So I guess this is Baron probably after this mid tower goes down. So maybe we get a miracle steal from the Pylons here.
Yeah, so like here, like so Yunara's out.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why we're going in. I mean, desperation, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, what other time are you going to get a chance to? I feel like maybe Beyond Godly just gets the Q steal of the century here as Rakan.
Doesn't have he doesn't have Spellbook, unfortunately. Maybe the Lux ultimate could do it. Yeah, we're gonna get some vision with the Lucent Singularity. Where's the final spark? It doesn't manage to come out in time. I think there was maybe a Cosmic Binding there or something on Sluter to deny that one. There's the final spark. A little bit of revenge for Sluter. Gets his 4th kill in this game, but the Baron did go over.
Yeah, Sluter looking quite good again, but I think it's safe to say Midcool has his number this game. Looking a little bit better.
Yeah. The Aurora is looking very strong for sure. Oh, so close to getting that mid tower. Not quite.
That would have been another band.
And now he's gonna die again.
Yeah.
As Midcool is just way too strong. Oh, the barrier. He's got a little. No, he's still dead.
Yeah. So Deathbrush not working out there. No one face checking into that one. There's even them pinging it, so they kind of knew that was happening. We got our Phantom Dancer down on Garen.
Yeah, he's had that for a little while actually. I think. Well, the Ambessa is going to be a little bit caught in the jungle now. Does have to flash away. So that's another little win for Orion. They've got the Baron buff on for about a minute and a half, about 90 seconds on this Baron buff. Looking to push down the top lane right now, looking for that top inner at the moment. Jolts has the equalizer ready to go. Cataclysm available as well. Godly actually going to flash in. It does get on top of Kartana temporarily, but the Jin manages to flash away, and there is the outbar of the Ambessa getting deleted. Shane coming out of that Tempered Fate is going to get taken down. Kartana dominating, double kill for the Jin. And it's going to be a light binding, but it's just not really working out for the Pylons in any of these fights.
Nope. They're in desperation mode.
Has to flash out of the Cataclysm. We'll be able to get underneath that mid inhibitor turret. As gonna have the respawn coming in for Kami in about 15. This top inhibitor for sure, I think, is going down.
Yeah, just going to get straight onto that, try and make sure that they can try and end this game safely, humanely, make sure everyone has a great night's sleep, all this extra time that they're going to get.
I like that. Humane ending to the league.
Yeah.
That really resonates with me. They're looking for the mid inhibitor now. Try to see if they can do this as humanely as possible. Kami is going to get jumped on by Midcool, who is underneath the tower and gets shut down. All right. So there will be a little bit of suffering here, potentially, after all. As the curtain call does come out from Kartana. Doesn't really get too much done with that one. There's going to be a little bit of a chunk onto Jolts. There's the quickness popped for Godly. They find the knockup. They get the shutdown onto the Rumble. Shane, look at... No, he's not strong enough. Oh, Tempered Fate onto 2 is beautiful. It sets up for the combo. And okay, they are going to be put down in the end. Triple kill, sidestep on the public execution. The quadra kill for the Jin. And what better way for this game to end than Jin getting the perfect number of kills as they look to take down this second inhibitor.
Yeah, it just needs a couple more because 21 doesn't divide into 4 very evenly. So needs to make sure he gets his KDA up a little bit higher there. But just going to start hitting these Nexus turrets.
Godly is maybe going to give him one more. There's the pentakill. Yeah, Jin does not like pentakills as much as other AD carries, but Kartana, I'm sure, is very happy to pick that one up. Okay. Well, really? This is the opposite of humane, guys. This is not what we wanted.
I guess they were respawning, and that's like the 3 people who actually do damage respawning too. But still.
Okay, well, in their defense, Sluder is the one who typed "don't end" in all chat. So he's actually the one who wanted the suffering to continue.
Okay, so we can blame Sluder. That's good to know.
Yeah. So that was not just BM from Orion. This was a Sluder's request for the game to continue, and Orion have decided to grant that request.
Okay, so Shane a little far forward here. Don't know if he's going to be able to be allowed to be here. We see that Kami currently fighting the super minion waves in his base and doesn't seem to be winning. They seem to be pushing in rather aggressively.
Yeah. No, the minions are not necessarily going to be able to heed that request from Sluder. So the side of the Pylons are going to be forced to deal with those minions while the soul is taken by Orion. And now it looks like we are going to have the final battle commencing in just a moment here. Hopefully the Pylons will be able to show us something with that slight amount of time, additional time that they were granted by their sister team. As Orion move into the base, looking to put the finishing touches on this one and get themselves into the quarterfinals in 3-0 fashion. There's the engage from Godly. Does find the quickness onto 2. Final spark over the top as Jabber does get into the backline. Gets on top of Kartana, but they just don't quite have the damage. The Jin barely survives. Itaconic does as well. And Midcool goes in between the worlds. Destroys Kami, and it's going to be the 4th shot from Kartana. The Jin goes legendary, and the Nexus will fall. XSV Orion make it to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, very, very convincing win from XSV Orion. 3-0 dominance pretty much throughout the series. Didn't ever feel like there was any real worry from the Pylons taking a game off this series. Huge win from them. Got to be happy for Shane that you're guaranteed that an XSV team's in the finals, but don't think that's the way you really want to be going out of the Civil War. Civil Wars generally are big and exciting and enthralling, and they last a really long time, I think I don't know, you Americans are the ones who fight those generally. Not so sure about them as a Canadian.
Yeah, might have another one coming up pretty soon here. We'll have to see about that. But I do see what you did there as well. Guaranteed for Shane. That was nice, Storm. I wanted to give you some props for that one. That was really nice. But yeah, overall, really dominant for XSV Orion here tonight. Really making no doubt about the fact that they are the stronger XSV squad. Definitely earning their place here in top 8. Feels really great for them, and the whole team really kind of was popping off at various points tonight. Everybody really having their moment to shine.
Yeah, I think they played really well. I think the MVP this series, is it fair to say it's Jolts, even though he was kind of spoon-fed maybe some of these kills?
I mean, Jolts is definitely who I was looking at in the early game for sure.
Yeah, I think Iconic also played well, but I mean, Cart did get a penta. It feels kind of wrong not to give it to the ADC who gets a pentakill.
Who were our other POGs? I think we gave one to Iconic for the Zahen game. And then who took it in game number 1? Was that also Kartana?
I believe it was also Cart on that Ashe play.
Yes, that's right. The Ashe. Yeah. So, if we go to Kartana here in game 3 as well for the POG for picking up the pentakill, then I think that pretty cleanly awards him player of the series, which would work out pretty nicely. But it really was. I mean, in both games 1 and 3, I think we really could have given it to anybody. Orion.
Yeah,
they all played so well.
Midcool was like 14-1-7 until that very last team fight. I think he finally died and like broke his KDA in half. Iconic barely died as well and like engaged incredibly well as Jarvan. Got every single dragon and on the entire map, got basically every objective. Jolts, of course, played absolutely disgusting top lane. Shane has 10 deaths for a reason. Even Chief with those Bard ults had some really, really good plays. Hit so many cosmic bindings that were like multi-man stuns as well. And Cart got a penta. So take your pick, but I think Cart deserves it. They're probably player of the series for sure. They had 2 absolutely incredible games and quite a good game too if they just ignored their over eagerness.
Yeah. The Ezreal, perhaps a little bit overly aggressive at times, did give over a couple of unnecessary kills, but overall a fantastic night for Kartana and for everybody on the side of XSV Orion. I think we are going to go ahead and award Kartana player of the series as far as we're concerned here on the caster desk. And we're not entirely sure who they're going to be going up against just yet in that quarterfinal, because I believe there's going to be some reseeding happening after we have all of the results from this first round. So I don't know if there's really too much else for us to touch on here tonight. Storm, did you have anything else you wanted to reflect on this series?
No, I don't really think so. I think it was a good showing from Sluter. I think they continue to be a force in ADL and Diamond Leagues, these Master 100 leagues. They've done incredibly well. So hopefully we will see them on another team soon and get to cast them again. Big shout outs to them. I think even though they were in, kind of losing games the whole series, they still felt like a really impactful player. So I think Sluter deserves a shout out, even though you guys did lose. Good job. I think you played really well.
Yeah, definitely. It felt like Sluter was kind of the hope in all of these games, honestly, for the side of the Pylons. So tried his best. Wasn't to be this time. That's going to do it from us here tonight. That's going to do it for the round of 16. We're going to be cutting the field in half going into next week as we move into those quarterfinals. Don't forget, tomorrow night we have week 7 of the AML. That's going to be TOF Devils versus the Hextech Hackers as they close out their regular season over in the AML. So make sure to tune in for that one. For myself, Storm and Macros here, and everybody at Aegis, thank you everybody so much for watching. We will see you next week for Top 8. Have a great night.